Oh shit. Oh shit, no, it's dying. It's dying inside me.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers.
Legends never die.
Inside.
Exactly. La petite mort. I know all about that.
Oh?
Oh.
Oh?
What's everybody drinking? Liz, you have some white wine.
White wine.
White wine.
And I'm drinking a chocolate chew chai. It's just a chocolate chai, but I put a chew in the middle to suggest chicka chew chai.
Ah, but also chocolate choo-choo.
I said chicka chew chai.
The
Thanks,
precursor of the
Pook.
old dab and stab.
Freshly undercut,
I will
because
not dab and stab on
what
this.
better time than to have a haircut that, is daring, question mark, whatever.
What better place than this? What better time
Ooh.
than now? Oh, hell! Can't stop us now. No?
I'm afraid I'm not getting your reference. I'm not cool.
Well,
It's a Rage Against the Machine?
I am aware of them.
Oh, boy.
I too want to try a little exciting haircut, Kate. Not exciting.
it.
What was the word you just used? I don't.
Daring?
Daring. Yeah. Yeah. A little daring do in the old hairy do.
Die?
Well,
Wow.
we could give you your red noses here again.
Oh boy.
Dead. Just dead. Right now.
You dead. I did a show in school, which.
Oh my God! See, Eric called it.
Oh my God! They all know. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone knows.
They know, or they
Monk
just
Pate
took
incoming.
excellent guess.
Maybe it is just an excellent guess. No, my photo's on Facebook.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure
should
you guys
have
have
that
seen
picture.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you also see that.
Because it had to do with the plague, so, timely or something.
Oh my
Ha,
God.
ha, ha.
Woof. Ah.
Oh yes, it's out there.
No embarrassing photos of you out there, Liz.
Sorry.
Not a one.
There
Not a one. Sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted you.
Say there are plenty.
So, you will notice at times that the video quality that you are seeing from Scott and Liz may not be super crisp, and that is due to many people out there making use of the internet and video calls. So, we see it. But if there are audio issues or things that seem like a particular glitch, do let us know. But yeah, right now.
Because yes, if you haven't noticed, we are responsibly keeping our physical but not social distance away from each other. I should point out that we're quarantining together, they're quarantining together, so we're not, doing some arbitrarily weird thing.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't put it past us to do something arbitrarily weird. So
Yeah, we decided this was the one of the most logical splits of pairs.
it's
in this
basically
group
the
of four.
parent trap.
Wait, which one of us are the twins?
Me.
Oh,
Oh
Scott,
no, I
you
see.
tell me.
Not the pairs. Like there's one per pair that are the twins. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So John and I are the responsible parents that can never be together
Yeah.
until brought
Yeah.
together by their daughters.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't have anything more to say.
Well, we
All right,
both
all right.
shaved.
I did. Do I have a reason?
Sunday.
You don't need a reason.
Fuck it. No, because I was gonna just grow it out forever and ever and ever. Wait, everyone's experimenting now? Yeah, it was getting too much, John. How do you feel about weekly shaving these days?
I shave every Sunday anyway.
Damn.
Like, that's what I do.
Because he respects this stream and its storytelling.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, because I actually don't like having facial hair, but I have a fucking Chumpasaurus Rex face that likes to get all cut up if I shave more than once a week.
Oh.
Chumpasaurus Rex. Did you dig that up on your island all by yourself? Animal
Hey,
Crossing.
no, he's just missing the pelvis. I dug up a dinosaur's pelvis, but that was the first part of the fossil. I'm like, oh, and Blathers is like, oh, great, it's a Diplodocus pelvis. I'm like, great.
Sure.
So now just a pelvis is on display in my museum, just like on its
I mean,
own.
that happens on Stardew as well with the little skeleton statue. There's like
Yeah.
a tail and a middle and a head, so.
Diplodocus. See, I always pronounced it Diplodocus, but I bet
Oh,
that's wrong.
ditto. I did that.
I mean, I have no idea what the proper thing is. I just think Diplodocus kind of
Well,
rolls off.
Diplodocus sounds more dorky.
Yeah.
Diplodocus
You know,
sounds
we're all
more
about
elegant.
the dork life here.
Either way, it's
Diplo-dork
dead
life.
bones,
Yep.
Truth.
As opposed to live.
as we will all be one day.
We're all live. There's a skeleton inside you right now.
Yeah, but the bones themselves, are they?
Yeah, they got like living marrow.
Remember,
Marrow can get
you're just a
infected.
skeleton cosplaying as a human.
See, that's awesome. I'm down.
You're a Diplodocus.
We do have to throw a thanks out there to She Who Knows 10,000 Things. Aragorn has been dropping subs on suckers.
Thank you, Aragorn. It's really, really, really
So
kind.
kind.
Brain piloting a skeleton mech inside of a meat suit.
True.
Makes sense. It's very kind.
We also, thanks of course to Ash, we have a new emote. I don't know if we're keeping that emote, but we do have a new emote.
Weigh in now.
I love that emote.
I also quite like it. Oh, is what I'm getting.
Yep,
off of it.
it's PogChamp.
It's fabulous.
Is that how you type it?
And think
Nope,
of the
I don't know
things
how
we
to
can
do it for a normal pug.
My God, John, run! Rock Pants is coming right at you.
There we go.
Oh no, wait. Oh dear,
That's
unacceptable.
very unfortunate. Yeah.
I'm just gonna do this.
Oh, that's nice then. They're happy with each other.
No kids.
Is that Scott?
Yeah. Whoa!
Oh my.
Bingo me. That's the Super Saiyan Scott. Come on. Wasn't quite. I don't know.
I don't know what to do with any of you Chucklesaurus Rexes.
Chucklesaurus Rex.
Here. Tiny arms. I'm just gonna play with tiny arms. Oh god, my dice.
Okay, no. Ooh. You can. Oh, that works.
So who among us are disappointing Aragorn today?
Oh.
I got two things to make up for being disappointing for so long. I got another dot of leadership because I just ran a team of folks to build a thing. And I got my fifth dot of scene because I want to be able to affect the castle.
Wow. Oh.
Perhaps
Everything.
the large building that we are currently inside of.
You have a lot of realms.
I do. That's where I spent a lot of my experience.
Your lowest realm is nature.
Yeah.
That seems somehow appropriate.
I was like, can I affect like the wood and the rocks and stuff? Cool, I'm good.
The wood and the rocks and stuff. All right, here we go.
Base elements,
Yes.
raw material. All I need.
Yeah, don't keep reminding me, Kung Fu Fenris. The more that people remind me that, hey, the PCs are busted, the more I'm more likely to be like, well, then no experience for anybody. Or they die and have to make new characters.
And you just start talking about how it's too bad that we're so weak. That'd be really great. So like, let's change the narrative.
Chat.
Switch it up.
Would you consider taking random points away from PCs? This is not an RPG.
For
thing, I'm
bromming
sorry.
it up.
For bromming it up, yeah. Every time I brom it up, you take a dot of something. Is that what's happening?
That would really, like, Brom would then Brom more often, which would just lead to infinite Bromming until he became negative Brom.
Truly a spiral. Hang on, negative brom would be good though, then, right?
Yeah, just
I have always despised the mechanic of taking experience away from a character.
Yeah, that's fair.
MMOs used to do it. D&D used to do it. You used to encounter certain enemies who could steal experience levels from your character.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was disappointed that the bunny ears were cut off. It made me sad.
Oh, that's
Way
what
to
they're
change the
supposed to
narrative,
be.
Liz.
Well,
Is it because it's like naturally trying to find the top of his head, or
yeah, it's pretty
okay.
good at detecting.
Detect head.
The sunglasses didn't quite work to deal with the glasses. I tried that. It cycled through.
Point, 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 point.
Yeah, level drain sucks.
Yeah.
I would rather do something to a character that then they would have to potentially rebuy with experience to show that they've had a setback.
Mm-hmm.
Take his arm.
That's so charming.
Oh, he's in a basket.
That's so charming.
What the fuck?
It's
Look
an
what
Easter
I found,
basket.
Mummy! Oh my god, a severed head!
Basket. Doop.
I'm not okay with this.
Nobody
There's
puts
another one
John
with
in a
eggs,
basket.
but I don't know what that'll do to you.
Um,
They're all Easter themed.
Yeah, I feel like the only time that I've actually felt level drain was appropriate was like wishing someone back to life in D&D, which could make you lose a level, but that was a pretty big important thing to do. So that's like, it needs to be important,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think in a role-playing, like in a storytelling-heavy situation, if your character is like, brought back from the brink of certain destruction of some kind, like, maybe you need to, as Pook put it, sacrifice a portion of your strength, whatever that might mean, right? Or if you're on the run, maybe you sacrifice all of your politics dots or whatever.
Yeah.
For those of you who wish that you were celebrating Easter today,
Happy Easter?
thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, hey, thanks, guys. I'm excited.
Oh no, you can still use it, Rock Pants. I just, it makes it look like my severed head in a basket. So when I first saw it, it was a bit shocking, as you may understand.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so you're here with us, and therefore I'm going to ask if any of you aforementioned Chucklesaurus Rexes are able to tell us what happened last session.
It was a gala.
Mm-hmm.
Technically still is a gala, but
Oh, that's true. It's a good wait. It was the beginnings of a gala. The Motley went to Halifax to attend the opening of the Grand Bes Din's new wing, as designed by Patches. I think before we get to that sort of section, the thing of note is that Seven approached Sophia, Patches, and Brahm separately to talk PR. Specifically how Patches and Sophia are not members of the Companions of the Golden Braid, and yet are helping out a lot, and it's kind of making him look a little bad, and he doesn't know where he falls on that. He's not quite sure what to do. They also went.
Yep.
No, we weren't very helpful.
Well, it's hard to. No. I mean, I think you resolved. Like, you knew what you wanted to do. You said it's not my problem.
Well,
Then you pointed him and walk away. And then Patches led us on a tour of the Grand Bes Din, the new
The
wing.
new
sorry.
wing. The new wing, which is called Novel. It is the Knocker Outreach for Vocation, Experimentation, and Learning. And so it is a 3-floored building. The top floor with a central column with a skylight that leads down. And so there are little balconies on the upper floors. Top floor is all maker spaces. Central floor has individual sort of workshops for each kith. It also has accommodations that are more suitable to each kith, etc. With also a presidential suite for the most important person, which at the moment is Queen Lenore. And down in the bottom floor, it's a reconfigurable convention space / meeting area. And that's where the big gala events are going on. There was a speech. There's some speeches, and we danced. And there was some talking while dancing.
A couple additional POIs, points of interest during the dancing and before. Our good old friend Count Spencer was there, and Reggie was there too, because he brings Reggie everywhere. Reggie is a POS as usual. Point of sale, sir. No, it's a piece of shit. I don't know if you want to say anything.
yeah, he
about
tries
Reggie.
to hire Brahm, or he tries to goad Brahm into dueling Sophia for him.
On his behalf. Yeah.
On his behalf. Absurd. Sophia sees Lanta, the fabulous knocker who works at the Grand Bes Din. Lanta has seen Reggie and is enthralled.
Head over heels.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Sophia has met Sir Quizzly, an autumn she who is also very interested in oneiromancy. So we're going to be speaking more about that at a later date.
The final moment, Brahm was taken aside to dance with a masked person who asked him, as an old friend of the High King's, is there any way you could get me an audience with the Queen? He's like, I'm not in the habit of doing favors for strangers. Who the hell are you? Especially when they're masked, yeah. Very good. And the mask came off, and it was Claire, his once wife.
Theoretically mortal wife.
Yeah, mortal wife. Yeah, I should be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought I'd have to
Not that
clarify
other
which
wife or the current wife.
Life. Rough. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
No questions?
I will have questions in game, yeah. Not about last session. Actually, John, I do have a question. Sorry. No, just actually. No, I just wanted to confirm that what I just said was like more or less true. That Claire, the masked woman, said something along the lines of, as a friend of the High King's,
Yeah.
could you get me an audience with the High Queen? Am I like on the right track? Is
Old
that more or
acquaintance
less
of the
what
High Kings is what I wrote down.
Right. Mutual friend, yes.
I like this concept of like, did I do good?
It was just to make sure that we didn't misinterpret something.
That's, yeah.
As if
I
tell you if you misinterpreted something.
Okay, good. Because I'm all up for misinterpreting, but like, just in case it's really wrong and I end up like dying because of it,
Anyone else's hands all like raw?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that a request to fetch some hand cream?
No.
You got to moisturize. Yeah, it's a lot. It's pretty scaly.
I've just been finding that new hands are the solution.
Shing, shing.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Moisturize me. We have these things.
Oh.
We have them, you don't. We'll get to you in a second, but I'll talk about us. The reason why we have these are for our safety. It is considered an essential part of our game at this point, and so therefore we will run you through what these 3 cards mean. See somebody flash this, it means I am enthusiastically okay with what's happening, even if I look like I'm not, and would not mind in the slightest if we continue. A yellow card means I am approaching my limit. I'm okay right now, but if this gets any more intense, I'm probably not going to be having a good time. A red card means I am not okay right now. I need to stop, we need to check in, we need to either immediately retcon what just happened or change the subject. This ain't a joke, red card is important. But one thing that I should point out is that these cards do not necessarily mean that something wrong has happened. It means that a player has hit their limit, is almost hitting their limit, or is very happy about what's going on, and does not necessarily reflect that anybody has shown poor play. It's still important for us to show these cards off. You do not have cards, but you do have options. You can whisper either a mod, Aragorn is here for you, or me. If you whisper me, normally I'm the only one who can see it. At this point, I reveal that Kate could potentially see it as she has access to my screen, but she has her own screen that she can look at too, if she really so chose. Or you can leave. We don't want you to leave, but we do want you to take care of yourselves. So if you do feel the need to leave the chat or leave the stream, please do so. And feel free to message us later on, perhaps on our Discord, because we are hopeful that you are doing well. Have I missed anything?
I think we're good.
No.
You should be using these fucking cards.
Yep. They can be.
If not these specifically, then another safety device. It's a good thing.
Circles and X's, whatever, thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways thumb. Figure out a system that works for you. And go over them frequently because you don't want to be looking for your fire extinguisher when something is on fire. You need to know where it is. Like, it's a silly analogy, but it's very, very accurate.
It's a really good analogy, I'd say.
Yeah, so know your safety tools.
The safe word for this and all other fights in this performance is...
Bastard. I
Except
assume.
it's not. I want you to be able to use the word bastard. That
Okay.
would stop it. We
Oh,
do
okay,
not have
yeah.
a safe word. We have cards.
Yeah.
Where is my fire extinguisher? Where is my fire extinguisher? I'm old.
This is my most recent sheet. You're welcome.
We all have buttons. Right? I mean, it's just a thing. It's just a condition of being a person, is that we have things that if you needle at them long enough, you can explode. When you're playing a game, pushing somebody else's buttons on purpose can sometimes be seen as a legitimate tactic. Putting somebody on tilt is a way to make sure that they play at a lesser skill level than they're accustomed to. They may make mistakes, make aggressive plays when they shouldn't be, and may in general become frustrated enough that they in fact cause their own loss. This is seen by some as an illegitimate tactic and by others as entirely too legitimate. What really depends, though, is whether you're pushing somebody's buttons in such a way that can be irreparable. To push somebody to the point where they no longer want to play with you ever again, that's an entirely different situation, and one that we always try to avoid. Part of the reason why we have safety cards is so that if we have buttons, we don't have to have them pushed. What, is something okay?
Sorry, I was trying to demonstrate
Okay.
by holding all of them.
And so, if we are going to be pushing buttons, let's make sure that we do so in a calm, collected, consensual fashion. Key word here is consensual. But our player characters don't always have that luxury. Sometimes certain NPCs show up, and they always seem to know exactly which buttons to push. But that doesn't mean they put somebody on tilt. So you're still at the gala. Sophia, Patches, you may be somewhat cognizant of the fact that Brahm is dancing with a robed, masked figure out on the dance floor, cutting it up, as one might say.
How good is he
How good is Brahm
at dancing? Like,
Brahm?
I've been known to waltz in a court before.
You've
Well?
been known to do the walk.
Yes, quite well, thank
excellent. Okay.
you. I know how to cut a rug.
Cool. I want you to roll me your dexterity performance, please.
I am... Wait, performance.
Yes.
So good, yes. John, I am sure-footed.
Yes.
Specialty applies!
The phantom of the XYZ is there. Alright.
Inside my mind.
2 successes.
Hey, he's fine.
Specialty applies.
Is it okay if I turn up their volume plus?
I see Brahms dancing, and he's fine.
2 successes is good, okay? Fine. Fuck off.
Technically, 3 successes is needed for a complete success.
Okay, so a few little errors here and there, I suppose.
If I have noticed that he's dancing with someone in a mask, I would go over to whoever was in charge of the guest list. The list of papers, not the cantrip.
There you go. I was wondering about that.
The person in charge of the guest list is a knocker who is wearing, at the moment, artfully draped pieces of warbler,
Oh, neat.
but not in any kind of specific armor format. It's like somebody took all the cuttings off the floor and assembled an outfit with it, except for a very exquisite silk bow tie, which he has tied at a cant around his neck.
Sorry to bother you.
What? Shouldn't you be schmoozing? There's a whole
Point
party
over
of
to
people out
the
there
person
wanting.
with the mask dancing with Brom. Who's that?
The fuck do I care?
And I see the guest list.
It's very long.
Yeah, I know. Are they like how is the guest list categorized? Is it by house? Is it by kith? Is it like what?
Alphabetically.
Alpha fucking
Oh.
damn it.
Oh no.
Lenore's just like middle of the fucking list.
Yeah.
It's just like our next to her name.
Yeah.
It is alphabetical. Knockers are very good at building things. Organizational wise, they're less so.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
Cool. I'm gonna just skim over it, trying to see if any names jump out at me.
Roll me a dive luck.
I shouldn't store my dice in my dice tray. That doesn't make it very useful.
Just to put dice.
I got an 8.
In going through the list, you notice Spencer is on the list, plus retinue. Like they aren't being, it's not like every single individual person is being listed. The dignitaries are being listed so that they're greeted correctly.
And no one else is wearing a mask.
Some people in their fashion are wearing like facial coverings in some ways, but I should point out once again, in this reality, COVID-19 is not a thing, so people aren't practicing social distancing or whatnot.
I hand back the guest list, and I'm gonna go find Sophia.
Yeah, don't thank me or anything. I get it. I understand.
Thank you.
Big shots. You think you know a person.
Kapla.
Success?
But
Going.
just scuttle away, scuttle away.
Sophia is looking for Patches
Oh, okay.
when she sees that Brom's dancing with a masked figure. He's not making a total fool of himself, which was the number one concern, but the second is who is this person?
It's your number one concern.
Yeah.
Details. So we find each other.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Am I being paranoid for being worried that there's a masked person?
I was also wondering who that person
We
is.
should go say hi and be friendly or something, right? Yeah?
Right, well, let's ask Sir Zeron first. He knows everybody.
Great.
It's true. I do know everybody. Who are
He's
you?
right here.
To the moon!
Wow.
Almost kicked over something. Shouldn't have kicked that over. It's all right.
Put the
Everything's
lid on
fine.
and close
Yeah.
and tight and good.
Everything's fine. Didn't even fall. You fell. Shut up. Zeron is dancing with Spencer at this point.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh,
Okay, we don't want to
wonderful.
interrupt their dancing.
It's not that important.
Spencer is leading.
It's great.
That's
It's
awesome.
fabulous. I mean, it would be very bad manners to interrupt.
I'm the queen of the party, so I'm just gonna
So you walk over and interrupt.
I'm gonna try to like, you know.
Cut in.
Yeah, basically.
Do you cut in like this?
You're cutting at a count.
I'm heading over to Brom.
Oh.
No. Zeron and Spencer, I'm sure Zeron would have been very helpful, but impatient, it's a flaw.
I am impatient.
Brahm, just as this figure replaces their mask, the Lady of the Hour shows up.
Brom, so good to see you, and I'm gonna take your hands and dance you somewhat away from this person.
And then that person just spirals away from Brahm and starts moving off into the rest of the crowd. Surprisingly nimble, too. Like, very nimble. Nimbler than you remember your ex-wife being there, Brahm.
Do you know that person?
I'm gonna join them too at
It's
this point.
funny that you mentioned that. Here, quick sachet. Whoop. It's funny that you mentioned that. I think I do, but it doesn't make any sense.
Should we be,
No.
red alert? Last time there was a masked figure in our lives. It wasn't a great thing.
It's true. I do think it may be someone in disguise, so we should be wary, but I don't think there's any cause for alarm.
Who do you think it is?
Well, I'm not
I'm
sure.
gonna pass Brom off to Sophia
Oh,
and head
And we'll
off
all
to
just-
security.
okay, all right. Well, yeah.
Now, you've hired security for this event?
The queen's here.
Yeah. Well, the Queen has her own security.
Yeah,
She doesn't provide security for the Grand Bes Din.
it's a big thing. Maybe those knockers that caused all this trouble in the first place are gonna be rabble-rousing and trying to take it down. 'cause
They
they're-
did.
Maybe they had little supporter that fell through the cracks.
Ah, yes.
Trust no
Broken
one.
Flight 2.
Cracks
Yeah.
of the earth when I opened it up, or
Hey!
There is a, I'm going to put it as gigantic red cap who is standing next to the door. This red cap stands easily like 6'9", and he's just got these. You know how some people have like lip piercings? He has chin bone piercings
Oof.
that just go
Ouchie.
all the way up
Yikes.
to his ears,
Ouch.
and they sort of swing back and forth massive rings as he moves his head. But he's wearing a lovely tux.
Oh, that's good.
But his tux is so padded out that he's probably smuggled in, or not smuggled because he's official security for this, but has any number of things that he can access at whatever his... red caps don't do things because it's safe, Alfarius.
Yeah.
Good point.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask appearance.
His appearance is 3.
Thank you.
Those rings are just hypnotic, I would assume.
It's not to everyone's tastes, but
I know you're
Certainly not to mine.
keeping your eyes out,
yes.
but this person in a mask, and I'm going to describe them a little bit more specifically.
Uh-huh.
If you could just keep a little bit of extra focus for them. I don't recognize them, and
Sure.
thank you. Do we have like drink tickets, or is it just open bar? For
It's
everyone?
open bar.
Everyone? Okay, so I can't slip them an extra drink ticket or anything.
You'd slip security an extra drink ticket.
Yeah, right. I don't fucking know. Look, I've got one etiquette and one charisma. I almost know how to be. I almost know how to be a good person.
It's just gonna become building.
Thanks.
Got it.
This guy.
I should point out that the red cap has this outside appearance of like pure professionalism, but his foot's tapping ever so slightly to the music.
Nice.
Is- okay, alright, okay.
It's funny, now you can't see this figure. They seem to have disappeared into the crowd.
It's strange, Lady Sophia. The face was that of Claire. But
What?
of course, exactly. It's. I suppose it's possible she's here.
I feel
I'm
like sheer
not
immune to spit takes.
Not sure why she would be.
A
What
really
was she
elegant
asking?
version of it.
Well, as an old friend of the High King's for an audience with the High Queen.
For what purpose?
Rom just kind of like scans the room again. I have a feeling we'll see her again, but we should keep our eyes peeled.
Do you think her intentions were malicious?
No, it wouldn't. Only the very foolhardy would approach someone like me attempting to alert me to to a crime in advance.
Patches, you get a tug on your sleeve.
Hmm?
It's the guy with the guest list. There's somebody outside. Said he wanted to congratulate you, but I'm not sure if I should let him in. He's not on the list.
Did he give a name?
No. And wrapped in a cloak, though, tiny. Like this big.
I have one and only one.
Would you mind joining me?
Your party. So as you head outside, the first thing you notice when the door opens is you see Reggie, who's leaning against a beamer.
Mm-hmm.
He's smoking a cigarette in this vague, dispassionate and he is clearly not looking at the door, so he doesn't see you.
Mm-hmm.
But someone has asked him to wait outside, and he is doing so, but is not pleased with it. But then when you look down, you see there's this tiny little cloak, the hood, and a little flash of metal out the side. Tiny little sword that you may recognize as your own craftsmanship.
What a pleasure to see you here.
And the hood gets pushed back, and Hergo's tiny little furry face.
Is he here?
I wasn't sure if I was allowed inside.
Yes. I'm sorry that we neglected to include you on the guest list.
Yo, this is a chimera. This place is an outreach for, Kithane.
Kithane and Chimera that have proven themselves as our allies.
I don't know who the fuck this is.
He helped save the lives of myself and my motley.
Well, if he told me that.
That's fine.
It's all right, citizen. You're just doing your job.
Hungry?
Yes.
Gesture to the door.
Sometimes I wonder whether a monument like this might ever be erected for other wonderful heroes. You're lucky that people know out there just how cool you really are.
When's the last time we saw each other? I can't seem to recall which time it was.
A lot of leeches died that night.
Yes. Okay, that's my really shitty test of are you really yourself complete.
Very good.
And I'm going to guide him towards the buffet table.
And the
Or
other knocker
where the
looks
servers
down
are.
and looks up who the fuck is this?
His name is Hergo.
And Hergo stops and just turns his head slightly so that you can see just the profile. It's all right. I didn't ask for this. It's only enough to know that you're safe. And then he continues on, and then a tiny little hand reaches up and takes Patch's hand.
Aww.
All right.
And at this point, one of the Dian, not Fuse, looks down and looks up and then goes, "Who's your friend?"
This is Hergo. met him in the dreaming, and he has saved my motley mates and I's necks quite a few times.
Illustrious Diane, may your leadership be as strong as your creations. Well, I like him. Did you want something to eat? Yes. Where are your friends?
Dancing, they're doing that important social thing you're supposed to do at these parties that I should probably be doing too.
There's no heroics in dancing. There's only celebration.
Oh, we're celebrating too.
Sophia, Brom?
Yeah, Oh, okay. I'm going to go have a look for her.
I'm going with you.
All right, let's not make a scene.
Dance through the crowd.
Let's... Yeah, so we're gonna dance
Sophia
off...
starts kind of like pushing him.
Well, so
over there.
I want to...
Sophia starts to lead.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm okay with that. I let her take the lead.
Sophia,
I'd
take the wheel.
I'd like to sort of do... I'd like to try to kind of make our way around the room, John, as much as possible through people. If it gets awkward that we're dancing and I need to do this, I am happy to leave Sophia's wonderful dancing grip and move off. Lady Sophia, I certainly am basing this on absolutely nothing more than a theory or a hunch, but it seems very unlikely that my ex-wife is here.
It
of course.
certainly does.
It's possible she was enchanted several times, but if it is indeed somebody else, that somebody would be excellent at taking on the appearance of others and at blending in.
Brom! You see Fuse, one of the Diane, approach you. He's got wide open arms. He's looking very happy. Very happy.
Mr. Terwilliger. And I bow or whatever.
It's so good. And then he, provides a reasonable bow to Sophia. Brom, did you get a chance to see the forge that we had set up upstairs?
No, I don't believe I did.
The
Would this
Troll
have-
Center has a very specific forge with a very special hammer.
A very special hammer. Intriguing. No, on our tour we stopped in at the Boggin Room, and I kind of look away, and I'm a little embarrassed, maybe. No,
Then I have to show you the troll's room. Come. He starts to pull you towards the elevators.
All right, Fuse. It's all right, Lady Sophia, unless you'd like to come with.
I wouldn't want Patches to be wondering where we are. Shouldn't we wait for her?
I'm sure Mr. Terwilliger here has...
Patches has to meet everybody here. Nobody wants to go without saying congratulations to the architect.
Of course.
Perhaps you could let her know where we've gone. And I'm like,
Absolutely. Right. To the
I mean-
troll workspace.
Brom, if I'm being completely honest with you today is the one day that anybody would gladly eat the Clark directly out of her, and then the doors close.
Yeah, but it closes on us with him finishing
Ass!
Me dead.
Yeah, if I were to make a kenning roll, would I be able to? I mean, there's already so much glamour around. I probably couldn't have a good sense if there was
Well, let's see how good of a roll you can get, shall we?
Let's see.
That's a perception kenning roll.
Perfect. I do have a specialty in cantrips.
Okay, for cantrips,
Yeah.
it will not apply.
Okay. Might I have the dice roller, please?
For you? Yes. Yes.
That's one success.
You're surrounded by any amount of glamour here. It's too much. But you do, however, while you're scanning the room, notice that there's a shadowy figure, small but shadowy figure, up in the upper corner of the room, close to the ceiling.
Oh. I'm gonna go a bit closer to it.
As you approach, you see that even though that this is an area where there's a bit more shadow, there isn't as much light here. The lights have been kind of dimmed a little bit to provide some ambiance to the dancing, right? But there is it's definitely a chimera, or not, like no changeling would be this small and this sort of oddly shaped. But then when you get close, you see a familiar ruffle of feathers.
Oh. Peeps?
Well, I'm glad you're here.
I shouldn't be surprised you secured an invitation.
Of course I secured an invitation. I'm the greatest inventor the world has ever seen.
Of course. I heard that you have your own wing here. Is that true?
I actually have two.
Oh God! Oh my God! He dropped everything.
Please continue.
So, what have you seen so far?
I've seen a collection of very interesting people. But there's somebody that I want to meet.
Oh,
I would adore the chance to meet the High Queen herself.
Unfortunately, it's not that simple. I have a hard time getting an audience with the High Queen.
But you're her special friend, are you not?
That's only when I'm summoned.
Well, what kind of a friend is a friend who's only a friend when summoned?
Peeps, I thought you were popular enough and important enough that you could get a meeting with anyone.
Well, yes. But it would be appropriate to get a meeting with the High Queen through her advisor of dreams, being a creature of ultimate dream. Am I not?
Well, I would have to speak to her. Is Seven officially her advisor, by the way? Would that be his title, or does he have a different title?
Oh, Seven is so important that he doesn't have a title. He's
Okay.
just Seven.
Well, I'll have to speak to Seven about that first. You understand?
Who is Seven?
You must know who Seven is.
Remind me.
Someone very important. All right, I'll be right back, peeps. Don't go anywhere.
I won't. Thank
Can
you.
I make a roll on this, by the way? Is that
A
possible?
roll in what way?
To see if there's something strange about Peeps. Usually he knows, like, even if he doesn't know something, he will pretend that he does. So asking me who someone is very off-brand for him.
All right, so then that would be a wits subterfuge roll, actually.
Okay.
A waterfuge.
A water
Oh,
fuse.
waterfuge.
That's 3.
Yeah, this is very unlike Peeps.
Yeah.
It seems that there's definitely some Peeps sensibilities here, right? But
This is not the Peeps that I remember from
Childhood.
or my even like the
Baroness
most
and-
recent time that we
Oh,
saw
yeah,
him.
right. That's true.
Yeah.
My investiture.
Peeps,
Yes.
Peeps never, ever admits weakness.
Yeah.
So if you said, I have to go talk to Seven, he would just be like, well, of course, Seven, yes.
Yeah.
So no, this is not Peeps at his usual.
Okay. I'm scanning the room for Patches.
I think Patches is by the buffet table right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hergo isn't quite tall enough to reach stuff on the buffet table. So there's a little bit of like...
Like a cat.
I'm gonna find a chair and bring it over so they can stand on it.
You're starting to attract some attention. Or rather, Hergo is attracting attention, and the fact that Hergo seems to have the attention of perhaps one of the busiest women in the room right now.
No one else has come up to talk to me, so like, someone comes up and so,
all too
I'm right here.
Thank you. And he
We should increase our accessibility.
brushes
Noted.
his cloak back, and it just starts to flutter out as he reaches forward and takes a cream puff.
Good idea. I will also take a cream puff.
It's a good idea.
Note to self, buy cream puffs at next grocery run. Make cream puffs.
As you take a cream puff, and just as you put it in your mouth,
Yeah.
and maybe take, I don't know whether Patches takes big bites or little bites, but yeah, maybe just as you just crammed a whole
Yeah.
puff right in that
Yeah.
gob, you get a tap on your shoulder. Patricia, I'm so proud of you. And your father is there. Your father is dressed in a tweed suit with leather patches on the elbows.
You didn't tell me you were coming back.
I couldn't miss this, could I?
You could have told me. We could have had dinner beforehand or luncheon or something.
Listen, couldn't you consider it a wonderful surprise?
It is. Welcome. I suppose.
And this is what you've been working on.
By telling them you weren't on the guest list. How did you get in?
What do you mean? Do I need to be on the guest list? I
There's
just
a
dropped your
guest
name.
list. Anyone can pretend to be my father.
Well, I have ID. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a wallet, and the wallet opens up, and there you see like a driver's license, and it's Malcolm Chambers and a photo, and then he just like puts it back and throws it into his pocket.
I need to talk to security. I'm very happy that you're here, but
Why on earth would you need to talk to security? I go to the door. They asked who I was. I said, I am here to see Patricia Chambers, and they said,
Queen
do
of
you mean...
Concordia is at this gathering. This whole building was constructed because a group of people tried to overthrow the
Well, actually,
kingdom.
that's part of why I'm here.
Queendom.
You see,
It was a kingdom, now it's a queendom. I don't know.
I have recently decided that in order to continue my work, I'm going to need to have a chance to talk with the Queen. There isn't any possibility that you could arrange it, is there?
Trying to crush the metagaming, trying to crush the awareness that this is exactly the same thing. I mean, if she happens to be available, if she happens to, I don't know if she was planning to spend the evening, spend the night, or whether she was going to leave after the festivities. She's the queen.
It's really rather important. I know that this is your big night, and I don't wish to take anything away
Are
from
you
you.
here as a representative of your own?
My own what?
People.
What people? I'm your father.
Oh.
Hello.
What is the business that you have with our queen?
Yep. It's a rather private matter. Do we need to discuss it in front of all these?
No, we don't. Here, I'm gonna pull him into the kitchens.
And then as you go away, Hergo just turns and he lifts a hand. You remember in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the knight, where he's just like,
Yep.
that's what you get
Like-
from Hergo.
Cool.
Nice.
Bye.
So you start to pull away towards the kitchens?
Yep.
So as you get to the kitchens, you see Zister, who's leaning against the wall with this massive smirk on his face as food thing after food thing gets jammed into a railgun and charged at several times Mach into a absorbent gel and then falling down steaming warm and ready to be served.
Not one for the party.
Sorry, you're saying this to...
Zister.
What, do you think that I'd rather be out there than in here?
I don't know. Perhaps you'd find something interesting
I shall
outside,
still have this thing.
rather than looking at your own inventions, but now I understand where your priorities are.
They haven't dismantled it.
No.
They haven't even fixed the timeout. We're all in danger.
We're in danger.
I'm literally going to ignore him at this point and continue.
Hey, what's your
ushering
dad
my
doing
father
here?
Towards a corner. Apparently, he has important business to discuss.
Hello.
So,
What is this?
it heats up food and delivers it fast.
Have you ever heard of an invention called the microwave?
Yes, this is a railgun. Anyway,
Why
what
would
is
you need
your
a railgun when you
focus?
could have a microwave?
Why would you build the
Or perhaps you could
pea
use an immersion
when you could just
circulator.
try to get lucky?
Well, no, that's not fair.
Now, what is your important business?
What do you talk about? Did you call it a pea?
Yes.
All right. Sure. What's the question? Are you literally putting
Yep.
Patch's hand on...
Her father's forehead?
Okay. I need to speak to the High Queen really soon.
Nope.
What do you mean, no?
No. And you're going home.
Patricia Felicity Chambers, I am your father. Your middle name is not Felicity.
Okay, I was gonna say.
God.
Well, I guess I have a fucking middle name now, and it's F for fuck you.
I mean, if you want Felicity to be your middle name, then you can.
Fuck you. I don't give a shit.
But he specifically is using a middle name that is incorrect. Does Patches have a middle name?
Now, folks from the UK, is it normal for folks in the UK to have middle names? I don't know. In Quebec,
Yes.
sometimes they have like 50 of them, so
Yeah, make it Victoria.
Victoria.
And it's BBC and it's great.
PVC.
sorry. I like it. I'm with Victoria.
So it's
Not
Victoria,
Vicky.
but not
If you call
Felicity.
her fucking Vicky, she will end you.
It's Chastity, actually.
Oh my Christ. You mean Catherine, which stands for pure and virginal? Anyway,
It does?
yeah.
I'm learning a lot. As well.
I have to make some calls.
Sure.
You're leaving now.
I'm not leaving until I get a chance to speak with the Queen. Now, you'll do as you're told, young lady, and you'll go and find her for me.
You're going to explain what the frick is going on, or we're going to have a problem.
Don't you dare take that tone with your father.
Stop fucking impersonating my goddamn father, you piece of shit. And I am going to punch the person in the gut.
You're striking this person?
Yep.
Okay.
Boom.
Roll me your Dex Brawl.
I have one brawl.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Brawl.
Impersonating my father.
And then
Piece of
backhands
shit.
him across the face. uppercuts.
Does steady hand apply? Probably
No.
not.
I throw them into the rail gun. Gun. Into
Riot
the
gun, real gun.
2 successes.
Yeah.
All right, fucking awesome. Just blast him off into space there.
Oh, this bingo's getting spicy tonight.
Oh, she's got
Oh, remind me to mention my
Uh,
brother with the bingo.
You've never seen your father move this smoothly, almost like
Ooh.
liquid. He just steps to the side and your fist goes whoom. And then he takes 2 steps back. If that's how you feel, very well. And he throws his head up and he starts walking out of the room. Although,
Oh.
as he's walking out of the room, he's going to cross in front of the line of trajectory of the railgun. So this would be a severe security problem. And the other knockers are like, "Sir, no, wait!"
I was gonna cast a cantrip. Do we have to go into initiative at this point, or is he not caring?
Well, he's just trying to leave. Are you trying to...
Except Aragorn
He's your
just takes his
actual
whole head off, obviously, at that point. Just vaporizes. That'd be so bad.
All right, while you're figuring that
Yeah,
out,
because I have too many.
Brom?
Too many options.
So, what is it you wanted to show me? A hammer?
Fuse shows you that like the troll room, first of all, has like these massive beds, and the beds are made of slightly firmer mattresses than you normally would find, and they're all California king size, so they're long enough for, well, actually extra California king size, so they're long enough for people who are tall, and that there's in the center there's just this fire that's roaring. It's kind of rustic in here. It feels very kind of like Norse, like Hall of Heroes type
Yeah.
sort of thing, with just like a central hearth, and there's massive tongs, and there are 4 anvils that are surrounding the fire and on all 4 sides, and he seems very, very pleased.
I'm gonna move to one of the anvils and just kind of, run my fingers along it. Brom is not hiding the fact that he's like quite moved by the space. I'm not a crafter by any description, but this place makes me want to create. I was asking Patches how one gets involved here. Perhaps I'll put my name on the list and learn.
We built this place as a peace offering, but it's also a place where you can learn. We'd be honored to have you here, Sir Brom.
It's very kind. I don't want to seem like a dilettante.
I have a favor to ask of you.
I turn around and kind of like lean on the anvil. What can I do for you?
Can you wait here for just a second?
Well, are you getting something?
Yes. And he goes, and he's not leaving your sight, but he goes towards the cupboards under the sink, and he opens up a cupboard door, and then he pulls out this. It's about this big, and it's wrapped in a black velvet. And he approaches you, and then he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a Sharpie. Could you sign this for me? And he opens the velvet, and inside is a lunchbox. And the lunchbox has an engraving of you as a much younger troll
Oh my god.
with your sword up, and you're flanked by an even younger Zeron.
Oh. I didn't know they made commemorative lunchboxes. Very, very sweet.
I've had this for a very long time.
Fuse. I'm flattered.
I can't use the thermos anymore. It smells too much of old milk. But
In there.
did anyone else have those like lunch boxes with the thermos inside, and the thermos like never was washed properly, right? Because you couldn't.
You can't get the milk out.
I just
It's
had
awful.
too many like alphagetti meals in there,
Yeah.
so it was permanently stained orange.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alphabet soup.
Oh shit! Eric would ask, "Please tell me there's a thermos."
Yeah, I thought you did that because of her.
No.
It's just
not anymore.
life experience.
John, just like,
Yeah.
out of curiosity, is there any? I don't like. No, never mind.
Oh, what?
They're like.
I'm here for you, Scott.
Thank you. That's so kind. Well, we're all here together to storytell for. Okay. No, I have no reason to suspect Fuse of being weird. I guess Brahm's a little like, put off because of having seen Claire earlier. But Fuse hasn't been like, "Can I see the Queen?" So.
No, Fuse hasn't mentioned anything about needing to see the Queen.
But would it?
I should also point out that Fuse was standing next to the Queen
Yeah.
when
yeah, exactly.
Patches was making her speech and all that.
They all spoke together. Well, one's name doesn't contain any inherent power, right? Like one's true name does, and I'm not going to sign his lunchbox with my true name or whatever.
Okay, so you're asking like if I sign this lunchbox, am I like giving away my soul?
I mean, that's essentially what I'm asking. Yeah.
No, you're not.
That's cool.
If there was like a contract that he was asking you to sign, you'd have to be able to see the contract.
Oh, that'd be so tricksy. If the lunchbox. Anyway.
So Faye can be tricked into swearing an oath, but they can't be like, "Hey, the next thing that Brahm is going to say is going to agree that if he says his name, then he agrees that he has to like be my lord and like servant for all time. What's your name?"
Yeah.
Like you can't do that. But you could kind of be like, "Look, Brahm, swear that you'll do what I ask you until this crisis is over, and that'll work." And then as soon as you do that, he's like, "Haha, the crisis is never going to be over because I caused it." Right? Like you could be tricked into that oath, but at least you knew that you were swearing an oath.
Okay.
It's not like changing the Lost where you can literally just be like, say something and without somebody realizing it being like, "Oh shit, it was an oath." In changing the dreaming, you know that it's an oath that you're swearing.
Okay. Well, paranoia aside, I am quite honored by Fuse's request, so I will take the Sharpie and I will sign just beside my face. I will sign a big flourishy Brahm Madsden. Atwitty.
Sir, Brahm.
You don't think it would be inappropriate for me to ask if Sir Zeron could sign the other side?
I don't think it would be inappropriate in the slightest.
After this, I'm going to varnish it so that your names stay.
Fuse.
Sir Brahm, I grew up hearing about the stories of you wandering, the time that you spent in the Appalachian Mountains, on the trail. You've been an inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Fuse. I keep meeting people who have memories, feelings about me, things that sometimes I forget about myself. It is it's a small miracle every day.
You've seen more than anyone.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily true. I've always done what I can to protect the crown, to protect our way of life, and to combat injustice wherever I find it.
I'll
And
leave
I-
you to explore this space if you need. I should get back to the party. Thank you.
Thank you. I will consider what you said in regards to this space. I would like to learn.
And he walks away.
Well, I certainly like this space, so, I'll poke around a little bit, but I don't think Brahm's going to be like, great time to take up blacksmithing, slam, I don't think he's going to try to do anything.
So as you do that, at one point in the doorway, you hear, have you had any luck?
And I turn to face the voice.
It's Claire. Standing there in the black robe, her mask pulled away.
Claire. No. First and foremost, I have not had any luck. I think we should
Cast her
have a
into the
chat.
fire! Isildur! Isildur!
Cast her into the fire. Yeah. I think you and I need to.
Fuck, I gotta watch that again.
Fuck yeah, for sure.
If it's on Netflix, we should do a Netflix party for it.
Yes! Isildur!
What a great idea. That's a really good idea.
No.
Claire, I think you and I need to have a chat as well, don't you think?
Oh, about what?
Well, how you got here, why you're here. You mentioned.
I thought that we were going to start trusting each other more.
You must understand I'm a bit surprised to see you here.
You know I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important.
Then please tell me, how do you know the High King?
We were intimate.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll my Gwydion sense on that statement.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna try to have I'm not gonna try to embarrass, like glow red with embarrassment.
Yeah.
That means you're 1 degree of separation from having sex with the High King.
Now this is 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon that I can get behind.
Sizzling
Sorry.
bacon.
1 degree, 2 degrees.
I reserve the fat to cook my eggs.
I mean, delicious, but
That's how I like them in the morning. Unfertilized.
sizzling bacon. Ah, yes.
Ah.
Poached. I'm not sure what the dip is, John, but I'm going for it.
The difficulty for this is 7. No, 6. 6.
Unusual. I have 4 successes.
4 successes.
Yes.
For the statement, I have been intimate with the High King, you do not sense any lie.
So I'm gonna cast myself into the fire at this point, I guess. Way to punch up there, Claire. Sorry, that's rude. It's so rude. I see. And you, of course, want to speak with his daughter, the High Queen, because of this relationship that you had.
That's not... It's not because of our relationship.
It's something else, then. You need to speak to the High Queen for another reason.
I'd really rather not say.
All right. Well, I respect... ... No, I respect your privacy in this matter. I can see what I can do. Do you want to accompany me while we try to find the High Queen Lenore?
Yes.
All right, just give me a brief moment here. I think Fuse might have left something. John, what I am looking for is an axe. What I am looking for and I mean, if I need to like duck out of sight to try to sleight of hand it or whatever, I'm looking for any sort of length of rope or chain that I can try to pocket from this room. I mean, it's a workshop. There might be stuff.
Yeah, there's
It's
stuff.
empty.
There's stuff that you can find. So you're specifically looking for like a weapon?
No, a rope or a chain that I could use to bind somebody.
Yes. There's definitely rope here.
Look, I want to reignite our marriage. I don't know what the... Okay, hey.
They said the beds were reinforced.
Yeah. They didn't say that at all. So I will... Yes. I am going to pocket the rope and then accompany Claire, or have her accompany me back to the elevator.
She will come with you. And then when we're in the elevator, as she's standing there, she turns and looks up at you. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. I know that we didn't always see eye to eye, but
It's all right. I would love to do a good turn for you just as soon as you start telling me the truth. And with that, I would like to try to quickly bind her hands with this rope. So I want to like reach out and grab them and then try to... bind.
Interesting. All right, that's going to be a dexterity and athletics roll, actually.
Okay, I'm good at those things.
Because you're like lassoing her.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Oh, so cool. And not the dance move this time.
Just like
Okay,
that.
Dex
Just like
athletics.
that, Liz.
What's this done before? You taught her how.
Dex athletics.
Lasso somebody? Yes. I did teach Liz how to lasso someone. Trout
Just-
Stanley.
For fun? Oh, yeah, okay.
I thought it was Emily who taught me how to lasso. I know you choreographed
Oh.
it.
Oh. Yeah, no, that makes more sense.
Emily was our costume designer.
Oh, okay.
I know. It was so funny. We were like, does anyone on the cast or crew know how to lasso? And everyone was like, what? And Emily's like, yeah, I'm actually really good. So it's a very, for Canada, not in the prairies, it's a surprising skill for someone.
John, it is a fail.
Just a straight fail.
Yeah, I rolled a number of ones and I rolled some successes. It's a fail. It would have
What
been a-
difficulty were you using?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have. Well,
7.
I was using diff 6.
It's 7.
Okay, I still have a success on the board, so I'll subtract.
I
the
mean,
one.
9.
It's a 10.
11.
That'd be great.
Okay, so as you do this and fail, she turns and she looks up at you, and her face is absolutely heartbroken.
Oh no.
And then the elevator doors open, and you're holding like a rope that isn't around her hands.
Oh, because I failed.
And then she pulls her cloak back up and puts her mask back on. Is it me?
I don't want to make a scene. Please come quietly.
Would you have done it for her? And then the mask stays here. So this is all you can see,
Okay.
right? So this area here. But from Claire's eyes shift subtly. The appearance of her skin tone changes, her hair, and then it's unmistakably Kay's eyes looking up at you.
If you believe this is some kind of joke, if you believe that I wouldn't hesitate to fight you here right now, I believe you would be mistaken.
Says nothing, but you can see a tear well up and then just travel down her cheek.
Matters not.
Incidentally, you notice this.
From inside the kitchen.
Remember, the walls are all glass.
Okay, yeah. I didn't realize that all of the walls were glass.
They're
Gotcha.
one way,
Ah,
so people in the
Cool.
kitchen can see out.
nice.
That's
And
cool.
Sophia, you also can see this.
Oh.
Simply because you take on the appearance of another does not mean that I will be manipulated in this way. You have no effect on me. Now, do we need to do this the easy way or the hard way?
The eyes shift back to Claire. I just need to see the High Queen. Is that
It's a
so hard to
very-
ask?
Party trick you have there. Truly, if you needed to see the High Queen, you certainly could ask me with your own voice, don't you think?
Sophia, what are you doing?
I'm at seeing this, I'm looking for 7.
Okay. 7 is currently dancing with Count Spencer.
What a player, this guy! I love this guy. Sorry.
And despite my feeling very rude, I'm gonna cut in. I'm gonna try to cut in.
You're cutting in to dance with 7 or to dance with Spencer?
To dance with 7.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I want you to roll.
Get out of here, Count.
I want you to roll your dexterity etiquette, please.
Very
That's a
good.
fun
That's a
combo.
roll. I'm so excited.
That's a great. That's great.
But because you are a baroness cutting out a count, the difficulty here is going to be 8.
Great. I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay.
we're allowed to do. I forgot about that.
please. No. Look at her.
I do have a specialty in high society.
Yeah, that applies here.
Okay. And sorry, did you say 8?
8.
That's 2 successes,
Including the
Hey.
willpower?
including the willpower.
Okay. So you managed to move in smoothly, right? Like we're talking like just at the end of one song and the beginning of another one, you managed to like float in, maybe with a dashing smile to Spencer or whatever, like however you choose to do it, but you managed to almost flawlessly execute this maneuver to the point where you're not committing any social faux pas.
Only pukes a little bit.
Pukes right on 7.
Right on
In the
7.
most beautiful she kind of way.
5, 6.
I was hoping to have a snack.
No,
No.
that's fair. That's fair.
Something strange is going on, and I think it might behoove us to remove Her Majesty somewhere safe while we figure out exactly what is happening.
7 starts dancing much closer to Sophia, and a bold finger just comes up and then swipes just a bit of hair away so that he can lean very close to your ear. Don't say anything more, but I want you to turn and look at someone who you think might be threatening the queen.
So, can I still see Brahmin?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm down.
And can I still see Peeps?
No.
Okay.
And you know
So-
exactly where you left Peeps.
Yeah. So I'm gonna lean a little bit closer and like look in the direction of Rom and question mark, but say that's not the only one.
So he dances and then he effortlessly executes a perfect 180 so that he can see what you have just shown. And as you spin out, you actually hear some light applause coming from some people in the background. And then he identifies. I understand. How much of a threat do you believe this is?
I don't know. There are individuals who should not be here who are requesting an audience.
All right.
Nothing more than that at present, but I'm being watchful.
I'm going to ask that if someone else approaches you, that you let them come. Tell them that we're going to meet them upstairs in one of the maker spaces.
Which one?
The education room.
Your space.
How much time do you need?
Give me 5 minutes.
Understood.
And then, as if he's done this all his life, he bows, brushes a kiss above Sophia's hand, so not actually making contact, and then very gracefully offers her away to Spencer,
Who's there again?
and then melts into the crowd.
All right. So while I continue to dance with Spencer, I'm looking for peeps.
Yep. So Spencer is... I need you to roll me your dexterity subterfuge, please.
Huh.
Difficulty here is 6. Spencer's not as much on the up and up as 7 is.
Is he trying to read me?
Well, this is more because like you're dancing, but you're definitely like not paying full attention to him.
I have a specialty and it wasn't me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
What a great specialty.
I know, right?
Forgot
That
about
feels like such a Ray kind of specialty, not a
Wasn't
Sophia.
Standing in front of a
Hey, oh,
closet.
hey, oh, hey, wasn't me. Hey, oh, hey.
That's 5.
Oh yeah. No, see, so he's thrilled with this dance.
Nice.
Although he does spend some of it saying, I've heard that you have recently engaged in more diplomatic relations with Gwydion. Not only as a member of your motley, Gwydion, but I hear that you have been spending some time with Sir Zeron.
He's Fiona.
Fuck!
Yeah, I was just
Fiona.
quick. Take it back.
Yeah, I said Fiona.
Yeah.
Shit.
You misheard me.
Shit. Shit.
Sorry, just
Shit.
Sir Zeron is a welcome and frequent visitor at this park. That's right.
I have to say that this outreach has been very beneficial.
Oh!
Patches.
It's not
I'm good.
outreach so much as receiving.
Oh my
Oh!
High five!
Oh, social distance high five.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Patches?
Yes. I'm casting Ensnare on Malcolm.
Okay.
That is later, so I'm gonna re-roll it. I should figure out. Okay, this counts as a freehold.
The Grand Bes Din does count as a freehold, yes.
Okay. Cool. No successes.
So no successes, and then your father continues to walk away and melts into the crowd again.
He was headed towards the beam of the food.
Yeah, he walks past it.
Well, I'm following him.
Oh, okay. Are you following him through the beam area?
Yeah, I am.
Patches, no! Roll a die of luck, please.
Oh,
Patches is incinerated.
I mean,
On a roll of 1.
9.
Okay.
oof. And
a
what? You
roll
get
of
you
luck.
get fucking killed
Yep.
instantly?
And
Like-
then
I get cooked.
Zister just starts beelining towards you. He is fuming.
Was my target chimerical or weird?
Chimerical.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
Well, chimerical as in
Malcolm.
it was Fae that you needed to use.
So
to
Faye
affect
as
him.
opposed to actor.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't know if that would normally be the case for my father, but I'm
No.
guessing not. Yep, cool.
Unless your father crystallized without you knowing.
Yeah, doubtful. Press F to doubt. X to doubt, whatever. I am chasing him.
Fuse. Zister just walks up. Are you fucking stupid?
That's not my father's imposter. There might be others.
I don't care if that's your.
I'm fucking like.
He snatches your finger.
They're after the queen.
He lets go of your finger. And you just keep walking.
Yep. Help.
We're going to have words after this.
That's fine. I'm not having my fucking building ruined by these shitheads.
I'm not having my apprentice vaporized by my
your
food.
invention that you're so freaking obsessed with, even after all these years, that's the only freaking thing you can look at. You can't look at anything that I've made, just the thing that you made. Okay, got it. We can talk later.
Little married couple. A lot angrier.
He stops dead. You keep walking, but he's not walking anymore.
He stops coming. Dead.
So you
Chase.
continue to chase
Yeah.
after this person.
But
I
how-
need you to roll me your perception and you're not making any pretense at like trying to.
Oh, I'm not trying to be subtle, and if I get another round, I'll probably cast.
Well, you can't cast it if you don't know where he is. So roll me
on myself. I was going to speed myself up.
Oh.
Quicksilver.
Roll me perception alertness, please.
Difficulty?
5.
Oh, wow. Okay. 1, 2, 3 successes.
Okay, so I should point out that we're operating on a time delay because we had to cut away from you.
Yeah.
So you notice as you see this that this person continues to walk, and then it's strange, almost as if he loses like 20 centimeters of height, just like thunk, and keeps walking, and that's when you notice that the elevator door opens up, and Brahm is now there with the robed figure.
I'm still going to keep following my target, but I'm going to note that.
Okay. As you follow, you see Cog being like, "Huh," and then notices you and help. What do you mean?
I'm like going to gesture him to keep walking with me. And so I'll cast Quicksilver on the both of us.
Okay. Brahm?
Yes. Yes.
We were lovers once. You don't believe me.
No, I believe that. I'm simply not one for misdirection. I don't think it's necessary to try to trick a gullible troll just to make your achieve your ends, goals.
Okay. Sophia, you've now clocked Peeps again. Peeps is in a different corner, but is still watching.
All right. I'm not going to give the impression that I've seen him when I wrap up my dance with Spencer.
Yeah.
I'd like to look for Sir Zeron.
Zeron is dancing with an extremely attractive satyr right now. Appearance 5.
Nice.
That's a satyr.
Sophia forgets all about her plans up till now. And
What plans? Who had plans?
what plans?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
She's wearing the trappings of House Dougal.
Nice. When the song ends, if they do not go to start dancing immediately again.
She doesn't, but she stops and she bows, and then her fingers flicker in American Sign Language, and Zeron bows to her, and then his fingers flicker back for a second before she nods and turns away because he's noticed you.
And we'll start dancing again if he's down.
I mean, is he ever not down?
I don't like it.
Only when he is.
Count.
Oh.
When he's up, he'll still go down.
Oh.
I was also gonna go for one out that way. Yeah.
Oh. I'll stab myself with my pencil.
Oh my god.
I just needed to catch you up on some goings on.
Goings on.
There are, and she's speaking very, very quietly, there are a number of individuals here who are not on the guest list. Peeps, Claire.
Claire.
Mm-hmm. And they're all requesting an audience with the High Queen. I've spoken to Seven, and he's aware, but I wanted to let you know as well.
Of course. I'll keep my eyes out, and I'll make sure that McAllister knows as well.
Thank you.
I assume that your motley knows these are not true individuals.
Well, and I kind of like gesture over to Brom. Brom was certainly questioning, and I don't know where Patches is.
Damn it, Claire. We were married for 5 years, he's saying to Claire at this moment in time. No, I'm kidding.
Your Quicksilver is going to go off if you want to roll it.
Yep.
Your bunk.
So can my bunk have been walking through the death beam? If not,
That was not your intention, so
Okay.
no. And technically, you walked through the path of where the beam could be.
Okay.
not-
I wasn't sure how risky that was at the time. I'm gonna reach down my boot and pull out a knife.
Oh,
Does
shit.
Patches often keep knives in her
Yes,
boots at a
she
gala?
fucking does. She specifically, I like mentally made a list of what weapon
No,
she
that's
had
that's.
on her.
I'm not arguing with
yes,
you in terms of a game master. I'm just
specifically.
admiring
Yes.
the ovaries on this person.
Yes, it's my fucking gala. I don't trust no one.
Fucking gala.
This is my
No,
gala.
If I got a shank,
I also
Sophia,
have an
you know, I
assortment
got
of tools on me. I mean, I could use my multi-tool knife, but that's less than 3 inches because of laws. So, much longer knife.
Something.
That's not a knife.
This is a knife. Yeah, well, okay, we're in a kitchen. I could also
All right,
grab a knife. but
that's
I'm
a
gonna pull out my
bunk level of
personal
3 because you're pulling out a knife at a gala.
7, 6, 5, 4, plus 1, 5, because I'm using
Gala.
Scene to also cast it on Zister and Cog.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What the fuck? All successes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes. I got 2. So we have,
So next round you have 8 actions.
yeah. So one of them I'm going to use Go Faster. I have 7 actions.
Yeah.
Kill him 7 times.
I was gonna say, yeah. I admire myself 7 times and then I move quickly.
Yeah.
Have you told Cog what you want him to do?
I said help.
He
And
doesn't.
then I
He's
gestured
not
to
a,
follow me.
Okay. So I guess he's just going to mimic every action you take
I'm
because he doesn't
gonna
know what to
spend
do
my
else
first
otherwise.
action, I guess, communicating with him. So if that is happening, there's at least this person, at least another person that Brom is talking to, and maybe others that are not who they appear to be. They want to talk to the Queen and
They can get in line.
talk Can you check in with Sophia and Brom and Seven if you can find him, and all of our other friends that you know and recognize here? Just make sure that they know what's up.
You don't want me to go protect the queen?
No, tell Seven.
Okay. You sure? But he's gone.
Yeah, I can't trust that he is who he is.
All right, that's fair.
So that, and
So that he can keep it
I
in his
didn't spend
pants.
willpower,
long
so I
enough
won't
to-
spend the willpower because I didn't declare it. I didn't need it. For my going twice as fast in the next 7 actions, I'm going to work to catch up to this person. And
Okay. The person seems to be trying to avoid you, but you're moving way too quickly. So you managed to catch up to Malcolm, quote unquote.
I'd like to push him against the wall.
So like
with my
driving
left hand.
him.
Yeah.
Okay, as you do that, you see that Hergo turns around, and Hergo's eyes sparkle slightly, even as he is holding a celery stalk with some peanut butter inside. And
Yeah.
Wow. What a gala. Really pulled out all the stops, I guess.
you
And
gotta,
that cream cheese
you
peanut
got,
butter.
you have to accommodate for all different kith.
It's true.
Just wait for those little those windmill sandwiches.
Oh,
Those,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
pinwheel
yeah.
sandwiches, not windmill sandwiches.
So you managed to get him up against the wall. I'm gonna just say that you're moving so quickly that you can kind of bamboozle him into. So you've got him up against
with my
the wall.
knife at his throat
A collective.
from the kitchen.
No, from the.
Oh, he's escaped the kitchen?
Oh, you're still staying in the kitchen?
My hope was that I'd catch him before he left the kitchen.
Oh, okay. Then no, you can stay in the kitchen. Yeah, there's a collective gasp of people in the kitchen. It's the second gasp in
3 seconds.
3
or
seconds because
whatever.
you also just crossed a fire line.
Yeah. Who are you? Who are you with? What are you after?
I'm your.
No, you're not. Fuck off. Who are you? Who are you with? What are you after?
So even as you have him, you see him start to shrink a little more. I want to speak with the High Queen.
Who are you, then? And who are you with?
I'm your father.
You are not my father. You want to speak to the High Queen? That's fine. Who are you and who are you with?
Zister, by the way, has very casually walked over to the controls of the railgun, and he's starting to move one of the wheels so that it's starting to turn. It's firing so that it's now aiming more towards.
I love it.
Hooray!
Like away from that backdrop that like slows the
Yes.
several Mach speed.
So I should
feedback.
point out that if he fires a slug,
So we have 10 minutes until the party's over. If he doesn't put it back.
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Brom,
Yeah. Look, I just don't want you to have. I don't want you to be discovered having misled a companion of the Golden Braid. I wouldn't mislead you.
I want you to roll me your
Okay.
charisma. Leadership.
Oh, okay. Okay, so John, my specialty in leadership is legends. I.e.,
No.
I guess there are legends about me. Okay.
You haven't specifically been like, you wouldn't, for me, Brom, hero of the age.
You know, our marriage was legendary.
You know, if it was Fuse in the very second after you had signed the lunchbox, maybe it would have fly.
Yeah, that's it, right? Don't you remember those old PSAs from the 1980s?
Now I
I'm
really
wrong,
want some sausage rolls.
Yeah, I
no
know, right?
drugs. Any drugs. They're all bad. What's the diff, John? I'm so sorry.
7.
Oh no, you're fine.
2 successes.
2 successes, huh?
Yeah.
Damn it, Angel.
Fuck! Come on!
Okay. By the way, now Malcolm is saying, okay. And you see Peeps up into the corner, and Peeps says, okay.
To me?
Just out loud.
Look, I just want to help you.
All 3 of them at once. I didn't mean for this to get out of hand. The people in the kitchen are like, the fuck? I want to talk to the High Queen. Because the last time I saw her, she was a little girl.
And did you,
When I was with her father.
Why couldn't you ask her as yourself? I mean, why couldn't you ask her as yourself? Knife to the throat.
No one would let someone like me see her.
Are you sure?
By the way, you hear all of anything I'm saying, all of you hear, even though you may not hear each other's questions. Because you're in 3 different places in this gala.
Okay.
do I have a sense of, I mean, High King David was a king, but he's been married, like he was married to
Fairlith.
Fairlith for like forever, right?
Yep.
Never stopped Henry VIII.
That is true, but like... do
And
I
no
have
one
any-
has ever committed an extramarital affair, ever. Ever, ever.
No one, including me, has ever done so. Did like... What? Would I tell a lie? Gotta go. Does Brahm like have a sense in terms of his political memory, John, of whether there were like whispers around anything happening when Lenore
No,
was
in
young?
fact, the High King and Fairlith's relationship was seen as quite successful right up until the point where he got into his melancholy.
Fucking crow. Oh,
And then there were suggestions that this melancholy might have something to do with, maybe it was their marriage was falling apart, but there was never any evidence of that. And Fairlith has never reported that, like, that was the reason.
mhm. I see. And you wouldn't want to, if you don't mind me asking, what face would you have presented to the High Queen?
Must we do it in person? Or sorry, not in person. Must we do it in public? And then Malcolm is saying, must we do it in public?
Gross.
Although I should say, still using Malcolm's voice. So, must we do it in public? And then Peeps, must we do it in public?
I sort of like holding Sir Zeron's arm, like walking closer to Peeps.
Okay.
One who shows a false face raises alarm.
There is prejudice against me.
I know many who have prejudice against them.
I was her nanny. And Zeron turns and nanny? What?
But does he pronounce it like Nani, though? Or
Nani?
Nani?
Sorry. Sorry.
Nani?
Oh, boy.
Nani desu.
I've started a whole fucking thing, sorry.
Gomennasai. Anyway.
I don't see a reason why we couldn't arrange for you to see the High Queen, or at least perhaps inquire as to whether or not she is available. I'm sorry to be blunt about it, but perhaps she does not want to see you. I'm sure you've considered that possibility.
Yes,
Yes, what?
I have considered the possibility that she doesn't want to see me. She may not remember me. I only knew her when she was a child. Children don't remember everything.
Why on earth would you choose these disguises to try to get to her? You can't honestly expect us to trust this story that you're telling.
At the same time, I'm asking, why did you conceal your identity? Why didn't you just come out as yourself? So,
I can show you, but I don't want to show you in public. Is there somewhere we can go?
The Maker's quarters.
Upstairs, I say.
Let's go
I
to the
would-
Maker's quarters.
not the education space. That still probably has a teacher in it, but yes.
The education space.
And I'm gonna head off to the elevator, since that's the only way there.
I guess I'm heading there too.
As am I, and I'm really curious how this meetup is going to happen here.
So Malcolm, Peeps, Malcolm and Peeps both start heading towards the elevator, and Claire starts turning and moves towards the elevator as well.
As we're going, I'm looking around for Kyoko.
Kyoko is not here.
Oh,
Okay.
I should point out neither is McAllister.
Doing their job.
yeah, hopefully. Yeah, unlike some members of the Golden Braid, I can.
Cut to the alleyway behind the wing. McAllister and Kyoko are just like smoking doobies.
Yay!
Hooray!
Mom candy
Parties
is
suck,
that-
don't they? Ah, yes, parties. Don't like them. Never did. Oh, let's get fucked up. Never mind.
What the shit is happening?
Never mind.
Man, how did you ever become?
So we all encounter at the elevator?
Yes.
Oh,
Headed upstairs, are we?
Yes.
indeed.
Let's.
So the doors of the elevators close, and then the three of them step into each other.
Ah!
And then coalesce, and you see that it's a dragon. A tiny one. But this one doesn't have the sort of juvenile air that you have come to know from Little One. And it's just got, it's more of a worm, right? So there's dragons who have like big, powerful legs, and like this one is really kind of more of just like a snake with wings and just the tiniest little hands and feet, so that it can kind of raise itself slightly up off the ground. It's not a very attractive looking dragon, right? Like it's got stubby little legs. Like it's not majestic, like you've come to know from other dragons that you've encountered.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be allowed? for being a dragon. You know that?
Dragons are illegal.
Not anymore. That ban was lifted a few years ago.
Okay, so just wait for a second. A few years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it's been 2 years or something in game.
Yeah, a few years to me implies more than 2, but maybe
I don't know, because we've been running this game for like 3-ish years, and it's been 119 sessions, and it happened like session 20.
Fair
I don't
enough,
know.
fair enough.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
time
A small handful of years.
between
Fewer than
1
5.
and 1 and 3 years ago.
Alfarius, why don't you just lean over the balcony and ask for them to pass up some of that sweet, sweet jazz cabbage?
Yeah, I mean, sharing, mouth contact on objects definitely is advisable at this time.
Actually, apparently smoking weed puts you at a higher risk, along with smoking anything.
It's working your lungs. It's
Yeah.
not as tarry, but yeah, take care of your lungs, folks.
I have to go and burn something really quickly. I'll
Is
be
it
back.
burn
Into
one
your
down?
lungs.
Yeah.
Burn a doob. Yes, it is. I have to go.
A doobie.
Sorry, I'm just joking.
Anyway,
A marijuana cigarette.
look, if you inject more than 3.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, if you
You
inject
could
more
die.
than 3 marijuanas, you could die.
Okay.
Well.
I am not
You're right.
wrong.
No? I mean, impersonating other people, I would generally call wrong, but you being a dragon, if I can call you that, I don't know if there's a more specific term for your particular variety.
I am
How
a
on earth
drake.
did you know so much
A
about
drake?
us?
That is a good question.
We have 2 very good friends who are of your general kind.
You can roll your intelligence, Greymare.
Cool. And I'm gonna I'm gonna look at Sophia but not say anything.
So I should point out though that the emotional state of this drake is just like defeated.
Meaning,
I have to ask, how did you know so much about us?
I'll get to you in a second.
Yep.
I can smell your memory. You wear the hearts of those that you've cared for on your sleeves.
That's
impressive.
quite a talent.
Why could you not see that we had cared for someone we call Little One? That we have not rescued. We have not rescued one we call Scythe.
It was not who you had in your mind.
They are safe because of us. They're of your lineage, heritage, kind, cousins, whatever the appropriate term would be.
Are you thinking of Little One or Scythe at this point? I assume because you are encountering a dragon-esque creature.
I am.
I mean, yeah.
Oh. I see a tiny one. Still new.
She's grown since.
The difference between a drake and a dragon, in this universe, by the way, disclaimer, shit's not the same in all places. What I say as a dragon isn't necessarily what you say as a dragon isn't necessarily what they say as a dragon, whatever. The drake in this particular situation would be considered a type of dragon,
Okay.
but not. It's sort of like how.
Lower D dragon rather than capital D dragon? Or?
Yeah, it's sort of like the difference between a chimpanzee and a human.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So
So they're
yeah.
related, but
Yeah.
they are not the same.
Yeah.
it would probably be considered insulting if you were like, "Oh, look, a dragon," in much the same way that I'd be like, "Oh, look, a chimp." Like,
Share
Okay.
a common ancestor.
But as far as the ban on dragons, I assume it
they'd
would catch
probably
all.
fall under the same.
Yeah.
You realize the trouble we would have been in if we had introduced you to the High Queen under false pretenses?
The doors open up now onto the second floor. There's no one here.
Third?
Yeah, I said second. I said second for a specific reason.
Okay.
But there's no one here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as if somebody pushed the button.
Okay.
And then the doors close again. I did not wish for you to come to harm.
You chose us to be your messengers. You should have trusted us with the truth.
I hope it'll bring you comfort that your kind are no longer banned. I'm sorry that they were.
And I, for one, would like to apologize for my behavior. While the Lady Sophia is correct, as is Patches here, I can see how approaching us as you are now would have raised questions as well. I would certainly have not believed. I certainly would not have believed you claiming to be the High Queen's nurse.
She had been missing for so long. When I knew she would be here, in a place that maybe I could see her away from those who did not hate or love her father.
There are people who hated or loved her father that there are people everywhere who have opinions of those in power.
The door opens up on the third floor now. So there's, to your left, there's standard maker spaces and also the sky bridge. To your right is Salon Nerf.
Oh, I'm sorry, the what?
It is the education center.
Oh, I see. Salon Nerf.
Wait here. I want to say to everyone.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning to stick with
Yeah.
this one.
Wait here, all right? And I want to go first to the education room.
So you go to the education room, and leaning outside the education room is it's a sign that says private event. And
Nice.
I want you to roll me your perception alertness, please.
Okay.
At a difficulty of 9.
Wow, I'm spending a willpower.
She really wants to know.
It's a sign.
I'm assuming this isn't fine details.
No.
It could have been.
It could have been.
The fine detail is that it was signed by Zeron, the poster, because he made it himself.
Wow, really? 3 successes.
Hey!
Look at
You
that.
catch a whiff of perfume, and that leads you to look up, and you see that behind one of the light fixtures, you can see the tip of a drooped ear.
That's pretty cool. I don't know, but, you know.
Who would I?
Like a
I
white rabbit ear.
Okay, there we go. Like, oh man, so many
Perfume
ears.
you
I've
smelled
been
in your bed before.
intimately acquainted with. It's really-
Excuse me.
okay, good.
That's nice.
I want to lightly knock at the door.
From the inside, you hear, "I'm sorry, we're demonstrating in here."
Wait, Whose voice was that?
Zeron, I think.
Zeron.
Why is he in there?
He
He was with us.
Fuck.
wasn't.
Never mind. Sorry.
No, he wasn't.
That wouldn't
Yes,
be
he
Zeron.
was.
Well, he was with you. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with you.
We met.
Shit.
How'd you get in there?
Tell
Sorry, there is a demonstration inside here.
Fucker flesh.
Yay!
Now it's Mac.
Well, that's even better now that it's McAllister.
Dantean check. Stab.
Yeah, really.
If you could kindly let us get on with it.
Oh god. And I look up to where Kyoko is still.
Yeah.
Have you seen Seven? But
Like nodding your head towards the door.
toward that door?
Yeah, the door of the education space.
I'm gonna knock harder.
I
What?
feel like they're all in on a trap together.
Probably.
Seven brought McAllister, and yeah.
And they're having sex before. The
Sure, exactly, right, you
fair
gotta
enough,
get
So
alright.
the door opens up
Dang.
and McAllister's head pokes out. Oh, it's you. What are you doing here?
Let me in.
Oh, I see. I'm not yours to command.
Would you please let me in?
Milady. And he pushes the door open. Remember, he holds equal rank to you.
He does, I know.
Sophia's never been good with equal
I've
ranks.
never been good.
So the door opens up and you see that Seven is sitting inside. He has a blunderbuss, which is sitting across his lap, and he's just got a chair looking at the door.
So, apparently, this individual who has been trying to get an audience with Her Majesty is her old nanny.
Fifi.
I don't know what her name is. Can you tell me a bit about Fifi?
I wasn't supposed to know about Fifi. Lenore is an adopted daughter, as you know. Which means that for the beginning of her life, she was inducted into House Dougal and had no contact with the throne. Which is why I shouldn't know about her.
Well, I need some way of knowing if this individual is who she says she is. She's very distraught and was worried for the High Queen's safety. I don't know.
Fifi was kept a secret because at the time dragons were not seen as appropriate. As I'm sure you're aware, you being instrumental in that law becoming null. Fifi watched over Lenore because Fifi was aware that she had a future. But beyond that, she knew little. Unfortunately, she also became enraptured by her adopted parents.
Yes, I heard a little bit about that.
There are rumors, but I only know them as rumors.
Well, she's...
Have you had Brahm ask to verify her story?
I don't know what he was able to ascertain. He hasn't left her side. But she's here. She's at the elevators. What do you want me to do?
The High Queen is currently awaiting another meeting in the presidential suite. I believe she has a gentleman caller.
And Sophia has like her face betrays like no surprise whatsoever. She's just like,
That's who she's waiting for, although I don't believe he knows that the meeting is taking place yet.
oh dear. Well, he's going to have to be informed of that. So, would you like to speak to her?
Bring her to me.
All right.
You kidding? He uses 3 actions to get there. 1 to get the deed done, 1 to like thank her for it, 1 to get back and ready again.
And I leave.
And clean up.
The deed done.
Oh, there's no cleanup. She's she.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, it's called Quicksilver for a reason, right?
Gotta go fast.
And I'm done.
Falafel.
Falafel.
I love that name.
The Drake has its head down. Your father seems like an exceptional person. But you only recently found that out.
Saying that to me?
Yes.
Not me.
Mortal relationships can be complex, particularly when one is not mortal. Particularly when neither is mortal, but neither is the same.
And there are 3 on you. 3 who you've held in your heart. Do you know that one is very present with you at all times?
Can you throw that one to me one more time? I'm sorry.
Do you know that one of them is present with you at all times?
At all times?
Yes.
No, I did not. I didn't know that.
She must be very important to you. But I saw her today, and I did not wish to take the form of someone who was already here.
That's interesting. That you would not want to try to deceive someone in that sort of situation, in that way.
That just suddenly gets very interested in the braille on the buttons of the elevator.
Oh, wow. Like they say 1 and 2 and 3.
I should ask you, of course, if we are to get to know one another as you seem to know us a bit better, what can we call you?
I have many names.
Is there one that you prefer?
Malachi.
Malachi. And
if we're to mention your name to Lenore, hi Queen Lenore, is there a name that she would remember you by?
Fifi.
That's I'm sorry, please forgive me. That's somewhat
It's a stupid fucking name.
well,
Oh!
The name that a child would give.
Go on, Brom, buddy. That's
Oh dear.
It's a rather silly name for a pet.
Not a hunk.
Yes.
Did they consider you? How were you considered?
Secretly.
I see.
You can return at this point, Sophia.
Perfect. The High Queen is occupied at present, but you may have heard of Seven.
No.
Seven would like to speak to you.
Who is a number?
7
That's a good
is
question.
her guardian.
Her major domo. Would probably be the, like, he's not really, but that, like, you know, he doesn't have an official title, but, like, that's as close as you can probably get. A major domo runs a house.
He's her guardian, says
Sure, you
Patches.
can say that.
Because I don't know whether how aware Fifi Malachi is of chimerical
Human stuff.
or human or
Contain stuff.
Slinks along the ground towards where you came from. Are you following or not?
I have a quick message to deliver back in the hall. I can return. I have to go see Cog. Cog needs to be told something very important.
Cog.
Yes.
How does he figure into
and
this?
it's better that you tell him than I do.
He has a phone. You could text him.
This can't be written down. There's proof.
I can't possibly imagine any situation that Cog could be involved in that couldn't be written down.
Is this better that you deliver it or I do?
Maybe you should. Seems like you're already quite involved in this situation.
I wasn't
He's
actually
been learning a lot from Patches.
volunteering, but okay.
Mute me while you
Okay.
have this conversation.
I actually also need to.
All right, you guys go.
We're having
You
a
know what?
break.
No, I
Let's
can't
go
mute Scott. I was
together.
like, oh, I'll mute Scott,
Oh my God,
but I
no.
can't.
Oh, look at your kitty cat.
Hello, Ella. Hello, Ripley. Hello, kittens. Oh, Ripley is just alone.
Girls, Chaos Cat.
Yeah.
You're good snooze.
Cog?
I am sure you know what message it is. Hazard a guess.
I mean, it's either do you see Lenore or don't see Lenore.
Yes, she's waiting for him. I don't know how long she's been waiting for him, but
Cool. He knows how to get into her apartments. So, like,
Good.
what am I? Just give him the, like, thumbs up, go?
yes, basically.
Cool. He's a teenager. I'm going to pull out my phone. And in
Okay,
order
but don't
to
write anything explicit.
avoid the awkwardness, I'm going to write
You'll go to
that
Pres
map
Street.
that I showed you. Use it now.
Oh my god. Oh, sorry, Ella.
Or go there now. So he gets to be her knight in shining armor and rescue her by showing up to come to her rescue. But other priorities may or may not begin. I guess it's a good sign that she's waiting for him. So, you know, the months of silence are hopefully a good thing. Who
Poor
knows?
Patrick. How involved have you had to get with
Oh, this was out of character.
their relationship? Oh, I thought you were just saying all of this 'cause that was very funny.
No. In character, it would be like, thanks. I want Putting a Dragon to meet her. You good? So I texted Cog saying, you know that map I showed you earlier? Go there now. So I showed him the map to get in the like secret access to Lenora's.
Oh, right.
Secret access.
Of course there are secret accesses to the presidential suite, specifically for security details. Margog. Since he asked to have a secret meeting with her like 6 months ago. I was like, oh yeah, we don't need this
You
room
get
to
a
be as
you get a
big.
return text, which is just a thumbs up emoji.
Dun-dun.
Spring.
The Monroe Protocol sounds dangerous.
Kung Fu Fenris, to answer your question, I think they're pretty happy. They've definitely become confused as to when is time for them to eat, because every time we eat, they think it's dinner time, which is a lie. It's false. But they do appreciate that, like, if I'm in the living room watching Netflix, if I'm on my computer, they always have like a warm lap to sleep on now. So
There you go.
Where did it go?
yeah. Ripley left. She left. But Ella's here. Goofy cat.
Okay.
Yes.
So are you waiting around after delivering this message? Like, what are you doing at
That's a
this
good
point?
question. Yeah.
McAllister's there. I'm not concerned. So
I would like to accompany Malachi down the hall, unless that's supposed to be private. I don't think it's supposed to be private.
Is Malachi going? Oh yeah, 2-7. Yeah, I would leave the elevator to like be
So I should
outside
point
the
out that-
door. 'Cause there's like
Specifically,
there's like the door. There's the hallway, and there's like landing space with elevator and learning space, and then other maker spaces.
so I should point out that this spelling of Malachi, this is, I understand the confusion here, so I'm just making sure that this is clear. This is not how we spell Malachi. This is, that's a name, specifically, which is it's a masculine name, typically.
Okay.
So
I had it spelled without. I just had CHI at the end. How do
Yeah.
you spell yours?
It was pretty close too.
I
Oh.
spelled it like this.
Malachi. Oh,
Oh,
this is I think the worst I've gotten a name spelling.
that
no,
was close.
I'm putting it specifically because I want to make sure that people know that I'm not making a specific reference.
Okay.
I did an A instead of an O, but otherwise
Malachi.
we're good.
Malachi.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not
Okay,
sure what the
melt your
conclusion
reference.
was between you two, if someone was going to
Printer.
COG or not. But
No.
I
we
texted
ended
Cog
up
to tell him to go to the.
That's the other thing I wanted to prevent Kung Fu Fenris, that it wasn't Malachite.
Malachite. Get those sitters. Go.
Look, if BreadCon is still going on, I might attend. So we've sent Cog off to there, and I guess we're letting Malachi head towards meeting 7.
Brahm seems to be accompanying him.
yes, I would.
Him?
Patches, you should get
Her,
back to
sorry.
your party.
Her?
It's
what
her.
gender?
It's
Okay.
a her.
Her. Okay.
She's a her.
Okay. Look, either holler off the balcony, text me, whatever you need to do. I'll be back here as quicker than humanly
I was
possible.
gonna go with you, actually. I think everybody has it in hand.
Brahm, as you go forward, could you roll me your perception alertness at a difficulty of 8? Could you roll for
Yes.
him?
No, I will. I just.
You're
feel-
a me
Ooh,
older.
for
You don't
him.
have to.
Cats.
I would just say, I trust that 7 has the Queen's best interests at heart. Brom, if you could have Malachi's best interests at heart.
Of course, I want to know. More
While
about you.
also keeping your golden braid, oaths, whatever, blah blah, to head back towards the elevator.
I'm going with her.
Well, I don't much appreciate that. I mutter as I walk off. Your
I
perception
mean, don't
alert-
break your oaths for this fucking dragon that we met today. Jeez.
I break my oaths for anyone who asks.
It's true.
Brom, break
No,
your
it's
oath.
not true. It's like specifically.
Roll the fucking dice.
I got 4 successes.
You notice your wife is in rabbit form up in a light fixture, close to the door.
Okay, well, she's probably hiding up there for some reason. So I won't say anything.
Fucking badass.
Come here, buddy.
And then Seven opens the door and just with a completely blank face says, "Please come in. We'll have our discussion. You're welcome if you wish, Brom."
I would love to know more, with your permission, of course. And I gesture towards Malachi.
And they head inside. The interview goes by pretty smoothly. Malachi reveals that she had originally imprinted on Lenore when Lenore crystallized because she was the one who found her.
Oh shit, okay.
And has been ensuring that Lenore remains safe for as long as she could, but then it became harder and harder to do so because dragons were considered persona non grata in Concordia at the time. And then decided that instead of using subterfuge, she would simply leave Lenore alone. But it became too difficult for her, and so she started arriving at Terranar under different guises in order to ensure that Lenore was safe after she had been taken on as a ward of High King David. In one of these guises, she and High King David, and then she doesn't say much more than that, but the intimation is that there was at least one intimate encounter. Brom, if you wish, you can verify this.
Well, I don't need to verify that she has been intimate because I know that is true. But I would like to sort of be there for Seven to help verify this. Yeah.
As near as you can tell, I'm just going to go by your earlier roll. As near as you can tell, she's telling the truth about all of it. But when Sophia and Patches get back down to the main event, when you get down to the main event, there's a small crowd that has gathered.
Doshtu?
Sorry?
Why? Pourquoi?
And by a small crowd, I mean like there's still a portion of people who are dancing and a portion of people who are at the buffet table, and then there's this sort of ring in the center, and it's quieted down, and you hear hanging off the side of a ship, repairing the panels, clinging to nothing but her tenacity and a small tether that was making sure that she didn't fly off the silver path.
I look at Patches.
Is that who I think it is?
Yep. He showed up. I let him in. Can you, I'm supposed to be the lady of the hour or whatever, but I just wanted people to buy me fucking drinks. I didn't want this.
It's an open bar.
It's an open bar. You arranged it that way.
Yes, I
Patches.
know, but like, can you like sing a song or be dazzling or something?
What do you need? Tell me what you need.
See now, this is what
Not
I pictured. That Sophia just goes, "Hey, look at me! I'm Sophia," and everyone's like, "Oh, Sophia, 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 Sophia," and everyone just turns away.
Wow, this must be performance art. Have you heard her new EP?
Do you want attention away from Ergo?
It's
or
not that
away
I don't want her to get attention, it's that I don't want this tale of my daring do to be what people remember from tonight.
as opposed to
This fucking building that I
Your
spent years
accomplishment.
working on. Look, I know I'm the defender of Northern Ice and steward of the Spark, and that's fine, but fuck it. I'm just gonna head towards like the bar table.
Patches. Wait.
As you head towards the bar table,
I'm gonna actually wait, but yeah.
As you head towards the bar table, you see that there's a figure wearing a cloak.
What scale?
Knocker scale.
Okay.
Question.
Who takes a drink and then just slides it along the bar towards you and then takes another one. And then the figure heads towards the kitchen.
I want to wait for Sophia, though, because she's my friend.
If you want people focused on this spectacular creation of yours, then you're going to need to give them a spectacle.
Apparently revealing the skylight wasn't cool enough.
That's what they expect at galas. The tour was wonderful, but people forget and people get drunk. You need to do something that's really attention grabbing. Kind of like how at some weddings they'll bring out like a midnight snack bar or something, like a poutine bar.
Lady Sophia!
And I'm just
I'm
keep
gonna
talking to
splash my
Patches.
drink on him, oops, and grab another one because I didn't trust the drink anyway.
Wow.
If anyone can think of something, Patches, it's you. And I would be thrilled to write a song in the next 45 minutes.
Surely that's completely within your capacities.
Oh, I'm so sorry to have messed up your nice outfit. You know, there's a slops, a janitorial closet over there that you can clean up in.
I've had better drinks spilled on me by better people.
I see. Oops. Drink number 2 gone. Drink number 3.
The bartender behind says, "Is there? I think maybe you've had enough." Well, she's just spilled 2 glasses on somebody.
I'm so sorry for wasting your talents on someone that isn't worth it.
If you'll excuse, and then you hear this small
To the
sizzle.
bartender is what I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you hear a small like. And as you look, Reggie, as he's leaning as far close as he can, like with just his face towards Sophia, without it being like pressed up against her, in her like.
Yeah.
You see that there's a small little tendril of smoke that's peeking up from his back.
What's going on? What am I looking
The
at?
skylight.
It's like kind of amazing.
I'm just gonna
And then-
take a third drink anyway.
And then the alcohol like soaked clothes ignite, and Reggie is standing there and he's
I'm just
on fire.
meandering off, completely oblivious.
It's not
towards
funny.
where
He's
we
gonna
are.
die.
Lady Sophia!
He's literally gonna die in front of you.
Can I cast primal Eldritch
Eldritch Prime?
to conjure some water?
Conjure some more.
So that's a flaw of this
Can I just
building.
add to it?
You want to explain what the flaws of that building?
They're like, please get whatever you need for your roll is.
Sorry, what?
Get whatever information you need for your roll.
You don't need to roll for it. I'll let
Okay.
it just happen. But
So the skylight, unfortunately, manages to refract light such that it's strong enough to like light something on fire if it's left under the light for too long, as per a magnifying glass. But it's a completely random place on every single day, so there's no way to track it. It just happens. Seems that
Wow.
Reggie happened to stand too long under this spot today.
That seems very fortuitous.
It's almost like I have this, luck enhancing thing attuned to me. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I'm off to follow this cloaked figure who slid me a drink.
okay. Sophia,
I-
you like douse this guy in water, and now he smells like burnt, wet boggin.
That's disgusting.
Are you all right, Reggie?
Lady Sophia, you saved my life.
Let's see if we can find you some clothes.
I hereby forfeit our duel.
You're too kind.
This fucking guy.
Come on.
And then you hear, oh no! And Lanta just starts sprinting from the outer rim of the crowd. Are you all right?
Can't get any worse.
Lanta, may I present... Oh, I already presented you two. You didn't just pine from afar. Lanta, could I ask you an enormous favor?
Anything.
As someone who knows this place considerably better than I, as you can see, there's been a little bit of a mishap.
Of course.
Somewhere?
Here, why don't you let me help you get out of these wet clothes?
Thank you
And
so much.
She grabs Reggie by the hand and starts walking away, and he looks back, and there's this moment of like, what? What? And she pulls him out.
I take the half second, but I don't like it.
Do you get willpower back for like playing matchmaker or something?
Is her legacy
Proving
troubadour?
I'm the best at something, I think.
Matchmaking.
What is your legacy?
Peacock.
Then no.
Yeah. Well, now I'm gonna grab a drink from the bar, sit, and start writing a song.
Oh, I see.
The cloaked figure is sitting in the kitchen. It seems that the night has progressed to the point where there's fewer hors d'oeuvres being needed. Not entirely stopped, because don't you hate it when you go to a party and it gets late and you've been drinking and you're like, I kind of want, I want snacks, but like they've stopped serving snacks.
Those bastards.
It's like the worst.
No, they're still
Stingy with the
snacks.
snacks.
They're just like the shelf stable snacks as opposed to like the freshly hot out of the
That's right.
snacks.
And then the figure in the cloak sits down and then lifts his glass towards you. You're still catching hell for crossing a line of fire.
As far as I can tell, the queen is fine. This mysterious figure was just a chimera that didn't understand Cathane customs. So yeah, no, I shouldn't have crossed the line of fire, but I also wasn't about to let them fucking escape, so.
You can't shave anybody's life if you have a
Yeah, if I'm
donut-sized hole
fucking
in
dead,
your body.
I know, I fucking know, okay? I did my
Do you know
fucking
why I'm in
military.
here? In the kitchen?
You're hungry?
It's so that I don't distract from this.
I know, I'm sorry what I said.
You're
I know
good.
you're a celebrity, you've built half of the cool shit in the goddamn Grand Bes Din because you're fucking good.
If I was out there, the assumption would be that you were working under me.
Thanks for not meddling in my affairs. Thanks for letting me fuck this up on my own.
Who fucked anything up? I mean, the skylight's a piece of shit. Somebody just ignited out there. Who was that little
Oh, that's the
bastard?
reason why we're called Ignite, you know.
Hey, Lamau. That's why I called it that. For this moment.
So what am I gonna build the next archives and the next super laser cooker?
I
Whatever
designed
the fuck it's
things.
called.
I designed the mechanisms with which the archives work. I designed this thing. The last major weapon that I've ever created. But I don't design the places they go.
Guess that makes us a team for a while yet, huh?
Someone's got to make sure that the spark doesn't end up like Clark on my shoes.
Is COG gonna be the next step?
The next step of what?
I don't know, making sure that the spark isn't the Clart on your shoes or my shoes.
You want to take Cog on as your apprentice, that's your business.
He's not there yet. He's still learning. He's young.
cut to Cog.
It's funny, I could use the
almost
same thing
there.
to describe you, couldn't
Oh
I?
boy.
Young, still learning.
So I shouldn't take him as my apprentice? Is that what you're saying? Or I should just let him be a hopeless teenager?
Everybody was a hopeless teenager once.
Yep.
Sometimes teenagers need to learn to make their own mistakes. And sometimes we can finally penetrate their thick skulls so they understand.
Phrasing.
Oh, come off it. But you know what?
What?
He's not a bad guy.
Oh, he's just a kid. He means well. He's got a good heart. He's definitely got a good mind when it comes to robotics and soldering and all that finicky little itsy bitsy tiny detail shit.
He's an idiot.
Oh my god, yes.
He was dating somebody who knew how to program AI, and he's throwing him over for some Dougal.
Look. Sorry. Look. Punching above your station is a thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't freaking know. Look, I mean, if that important person deigns to give him attention, I can understand why a teenage him would care.
You know, me and David Audrey were once a thing.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit.
It's super bullshit. Oh, sorry. I'm not there.
He lost his connection to creating. It broke my freaking heart. And I can't see you being with anyone that would ever lose their connection to creating.
And he reaches behind the railgun and he pulls out this really old, battered flask, and he tosses it over to you. Touch that and you won't even care about this building.
I'm gonna give it the slightest of sniffs.
So it smells like ethanol.
I'm gonna like touch my tongue to the like lid that I've opened
Yeah.
with my eidetic taste.
Okay.
What is it?
It smells like ethanol, but it tastes like this memory. It tastes like a memory of oil and sweat and fuel and speed. It's inextricably linked to Zister. Not that you've like tasted Zister, but like you could just tell.
Mm-hmm. I'm still the dignitary of the stupid event. It's not a stupid event, I just hated the attention. How did you deal with the attention when you opened the archives, you built this ray gun or all the other shit you made?
We don't throw parties for ourselves.
Parties for the new Furking wing.
You hide in the kitchen.
Cheers.
You let the building speak for itself.
Cool.
Is that what you want?
Yep.
And come on. Let's go for a tour.
Cool. What don't you already know?
Whatever you need to tell me. Show me the secret history.
Cool. I hope you don't hate architecture. So about these pillars.
Have you ever heard of Doric columns? Oh, God.
It goes way beyond that.
I haven't really.
Such architecture 101,
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
right?
By the time you finish the song, Sophia, Hergo has started getting into the dragon, taking out the Riverside Designs, a Gears Corporation.
Yes. Gears
Good God.
Gears Company. Brom, where are you at?
Well, I was certainly upstairs being an impartial observer, shall we say, of Malachi. Is that right?
Yeah, Malachi.
Malachi and Seven. I'm really not trying to like punch above my station in terms of putting my nose in where it doesn't belong. So I'm listening to the two of them. Do I get the sense that Seven, you mentioned, was like neutral? Do I get the sense that Seven is trying to, I don't know, entrap or draw anything out of Malachi?
I want you to roll me a wits empathy roll, please.
Okay. I have a instincts as a specialty.
No.
Okay.
Difficulty is 9.
It's really bad if I fail. I'm gonna spend a point of willpower, John.
Okay. So you can't botch.
It's true. I know how much you love it when I botch, though. So
I do. Some of the greatest things in this game happen
Bless
because
you.
you've botched. Thank you. I've now popped every single individual, like, rib.
Yikes. I got 2 successes, including the willpower.
Seven's loyalty. Actually, this is important, so let's
Okay.
Give me the lamp.
a
Seven's
diamond in the rough.
Oh, very good. I want to watch that again so bad.
Brom wakes
You
up
have
in-
Disney Plus. You can watch it anytime you want.
We have it.
And I think we're going to end the session here. Just to run to the other room. No, it's fine. Oh my god. I'm just kidding.
7 is entirely loyal to the crown.
Great.
But it goes beyond anything else. He's not loyal to himself. He's loyal to no house. He is loyal to the crown. And that's it. So if he needed to sacrifice himself for the crown, you get the impression that he instantly would. If Lenore was suddenly deposed and literally the incarnate of evil gets put into into her place, he would support that incarnate of evil.
Right.
And it's not because he's like, well, I'm glad it's evil now. It's that the crown must be protected at all times.
Regardless of who is wearing it, so to speak.
Aragorn, this would actually make him incredibly Seelie.
Certainly more Sealy than any of us.
I'm wrong.
I'm Brom.
My name is Grand Bes Din.
It makes him very Seelie, but the thing is that it's... Well, actually, that's a very good question. It makes him Seelie, but it also in some ways makes him unseelie as well. In that he has a the single-minded devotion to something is more Seelie, right? Like, never forget a debt. But for him, it is his passion and his duty. Brom just got finished evaluating 7, and 7's only driving force is to protect the crown.
Yep.
Say that's his defining intimacy.
Mad respect. Thank you, Liz.
Yeah.
But also, mad respect, and I assumed as such, which is why I was like, hey, Brom, if you could, try to think about this individual while not breaking your oaths, please. But, yeah.
What seems to be has
I'd
Seven
love
made
to.
any overtures in terms of what he thinks is reasonable? I'd like to speak up on behalf of Fifi.
He says that he would very much like to put the two of them together. However, tonight isn't the night. The trouble that Malachi has caused, albeit limited to the three of you, means that it would be imprudent at this time to reward this behavior with instant gratification. However, he's amenable to ensuring that in the next few days, after the Queen has dealt with everything else that she has to here, because the following day she's going to be dealing a lot with the Diane,
Right.
that perhaps he could arrange a meeting then. But until that time, he's opening up the opportunity for Malachi to stay in a protected area so that she can wait. But he's being very adamant, no queen today. You can object if you so choose.
No, Seven. I think she should. No. I'm not going to object. Excuse me.
Ripley.
So rude. Just found a die back there.
What? How did one get back there?
It's a D6.
Fuck.
I rolled a 4 on my d6 of 5.
Perhaps, if I may be so bold, Malachi, you could use this opportunity to mingle with us Cathane. Now that that's, well, more reasonable to do so. If you feel comfortable, that is.
Malachi isn't on the guest list. Sorry, Malachi isn't on the guest list.
I understand.
It is inappropriate for somebody to achieve their goals in such a manner as this.
Then perhaps you will allow me to escort Malachi back to the place that you have set up for her.
I must speak with a Diane first. This is their territory, but yes, we'll figure it out. As always, when it's slow, it's much quieter. I'm speaking up because otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear it, that sort of thing. Sophia.
I finish writing my song and head to the band. I forget. Is it a?
There was definitely a stage set up.
Yeah, they're live players here. They're across Kith.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a 13-piece orchestra. And by 13-piece orchestra, it's just like one of each Kith.
Oh, that's cute.
Except it's 12 instrumentalists, and there's the satyr is scatting in a microphone.
Oh my god.
That's kind of the best thing I've ever heard.
She's
in my
dressed in like a Prohibition era dress.
Well,
The
unfortunately, I
acoustics are
didn't have
good.
quite enough time to set the piece to a 13-piece orchestra, so I'm going to.
Are you gonna pull like a Marty McFly and be like, rhythm and blues, play in the key of D, try to keep up with the changes and.
Nope. So I'm gonna ask them very humbly if I may have the stage for a few minutes.
The satyr seems to recognize you and instantly just is like, yeah, and hands you the microphone and just beetles away. And Mab just goes, because Mab can't resist being kind of catty.
Sophia takes the mic. Everyone, if I may have your attention, please.
And there's a stop,
I would like to.
and everybody
perform
turns.
a song that is written in honor of my good friend Patches and the work that she has done today. That's right. It's called Patch's Glorious Adventure. And it's a 5-hour song. No, I'm kidding. All right, so
Gather around, children. Okay.
Come gather around, children. It's high time you learned of a knocker named Patches and a boggin named Reggie.
pretty much. While she has worked tremendously hard on this project, I think what would really make this evening special is for everyone to just look around the room and really take in what has been accomplished here. Because it's tremendous and it's unprecedented. We should all be very proud and excited for tomorrow. And then she starts singing.
Thank you.
The Venga bus is coming and everybody's jumping. New York to San Francisco, an intra-city disco. The wheels of steel are turning and traffic lights are burning. So if you want to party, get on and move your body. Hey now, hear what I say now. Happiness is just around the corner. No, that's not what she's singing?
Nah.
Oh.
Yes, John Verrill can sing each and every one for you, Aragorn. You just
He can.
ask him. In a good way.
I still want to make a horror film called The Venga Bus and then have the poster be like, The Venga Bus is
Is
coming.
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 Or the wheels of steel are turning.
It's like rubber, but, 4 wheels instead of 1.
Thanks, Kung-Fu.
I have not actually ever sung that song in a karaoke.
I don't know if it's available in any karaoke anywhere.
We've done Womanizer. We're not getting into that. So you start singing. Do you care to roll your performance, or do you just want to? You can take an automatic on this one. You're pretty good at it.
Good.
I'd like to roll just in case it's amazing.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't fuck it up.
Botch.
And just in case it's
Botch.
really bad.
Botch. If you botch, something's happening to Hergo.
Ooh.
All right.
Something good, right, John?
Is this charisma performance?
Yeah, we'll say it's charisma performance. You're using the microphone?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, charisma performance.
Charisma microphone.
Otherwise, it'd be stamina performance.
Oh, very good.
Fair.
You're rolling thing.
I want to say thank you to you because Patches probably won't.
Aww.
Aww. Okay. So
Not that she isn't.
that's
thankful.
5 successes.
Okay. That is an exceptional success. Congratulations. We've had several of those
Yeah.
this time around.
National- no, wait.
So as you begin to sing, what is actually happening is that people are paying less and less attention to you and more attention to just looking around. You are going on a tour with Zister.
Yep.
So it's kind of interesting because whenever Zister comes around, the first thing that he does is he points at whoever is at their station and he just goes, "Fuck off." Like not in a mean way, but more just like a "Nyeh."
Knockers understand.
And he has enough pull
Yeah.
that they leave.
Yeah.
And he is just genuinely interested in the bits. And every once in a while, he throws some criticism at it because he can.
Mm-hmm.
But it's clear that he doesn't know as much about architecture as you do.
Mm-hmm.
So but the really interesting thing is that he doesn't hide his curiosity at wait a minute, this is something that she knows more about than I do. So he's genuinely curious about learning. About well, why did you do this? Why did you do that? This seems dumb. Oh, now I get it. That kind of thing. So he isn't pulling that whole well, I mean, sure, you have your thing, whatever. It's okay. He feels okay to learn at this time.
Patches is super comfortable and happy to be doing this instead of dealing with trying to be properly, appropriately, politely sociable downstairs.
Oh, Zister also takes off his heels.
Thumbs up.
So he's wandering around barefoot in your...
Nice. I'm still wearing the steel-toed heels that Taylor made.
Oh yeah, they're way better than his.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Should hook him up.
Brom, after the Diane approve, they ask that you lead Malachi to the sky bridge that connects this wing or this annex to the rest of the Grand Bes Din. And Seven says that he needs to go and ensure that everything is all right downstairs, and would you mind?
It'd be my pleasure. Well, I guess I'll see when we get there. I will accompany Malachi up to the sky bridge. I'm very happy that we were able to sort this out. I'm sorry for threatening you.
I'm sorry for lying.
No, we are both sorry then, I suppose.
Is there anything that I can tell you before you go?
About what?
Your memories. Those around you.
What did you mean when you said that she is always with me?
You carry the love of 3 women with you. One is an old love. It is aged, much like a wine. It has not spoiled, but it has become something different than what it once was. One love is cold, chilled to perfection. It is static. It does not change, not for you. And one is dynamic. It moves so quickly. There's glamour in it. The idea that the feeling for you is at times fervent and at times comfortable. At times it hides and at times it's on full force. But it is always with you. But is that what you really wanted to know?
If I am being honest with you, Malachi, I'm not sure what you could tell me of my own memories that I do not yet know. How would I ask you something that I cannot remember?
There was a time in your life where being a hero was who you were. It was something that you strove for. That time isn't over, but you have gone from being a hero to creating heroes. You are leaving a legacy.
That's very... Well, it is very kind of you to say, truth or no.
You must understand that in creating heroes, you are lessening the burden on your own shoulders. You must take the time to appreciate what you've earned. To hold 3 loves with yourself is a privilege few get. Do not waste it. And the drake starts moving across the sky bridge.
I'll watch her go, unless of course she needs somebody to accompany her over there.
No. And technically, the sky bridge is off limits. There's, in fact, like a velvet rope and a little ominous blinking eye.
Ooh, okay. That scares me. I'll give one of these. And I'll watch her go.
Sophia, the song does its job. And by the end, the only voices that you hear are people who are asking questions or commenting about where they are. It is a difficult thing, but not impossible, for she to do something so well that they stop paying attention to her. When you reach the end of the tour, Zister leans against the balcony in one of the maker spaces. Not the Nerf space, but one of the other maker spaces. And he looks up at the skylight, and he looks back down at the party below, and you can hear the last sort of remnants of the party as it's happening, and people are still occasionally talking. The song is having a long-lasting effect. There's something you're going to have to get used to. This place exists now. I'm not sure if it's ever going to be finished. I don't know if you're the sort of person who likes to look back, or the sort of person who likes to continue and tinker and twist.
Once a building is constructed, it's in the hands of those who own it. In this particular case, I will make sure that it doesn't exclude other Cathain, as that was what its purpose was. And I will be ready to defend its purpose in a way that I have not defended any other creation of my own. But no, if they decide to change the lights out for cold, white, cheapo LEDs, I will accept. Even though they should be using RGBA, it is their loss. I won't oversee the finest details of this building. I will be at the spark. I'll be creating anew.
This isn't going to be your greatest creation. It is a great creation, but it will not be the greatest.
We'll see what tomorrow brings.
But people will tie you to this place. For the rest of your life, there will be people who will come to you and they will tell you how excited they are because of this creation of yours, no matter what else you make.
I'm glad it's this and not that hydroelectric monitoring station. Look, it's important that people in the province have power, but my frickin' God, do I not give a shit about whether the office has 3 floors or 4. So yeah, it's worth it.
This is where you enter into legend. It sounds dramatic, but it's the fate of anybody who decides to be a genius.
There's a kid working in the archives who was super excited about you. I suppose that'll be me someday with the novel.
I don't believe that great power requires great responsibility. But I do believe that if you have power, you're going to shape the world around you. Make sure that you're happy with what you create.
Are you happy with what you've created?
And he looks at Patches for a long time. And he nods. And I think we'll end the session there.
Oh, Ripley.
No. You can't fit. You should not sit.
Ripley has decided she fits and sits in our dice tray.
You do not.
Oh my god.
She does
You're
not
too
fit.
snoopy.
Look, she isn't that big, but she's bigger than the dice tray.
Oh my god.
It's
I
much
feel
too
she
much.
could definitely fit like her paws in there. And then
fit she
attempt
has.
to get into the sits position.
All right, here. Oh, I'm sure there's a photo coming.
I'm gonna see. It's pretty dark.
Kitten does not fit, and kitten does not fit.
Or is it a little bigger
This
than
is a
that?
little
Thank you.
longer, but like it's not
Yeah.
much bigger.
Hey.
So I just
for the
want
bits.
to...
What's the bit?
I want to put
For
it,
the
thank you
bits
for the
all
bits, but
through
also
this.
thank you for being able to join us live.
Yay!
Yeah, we have a few folks who are joining us live for the first time, or at least chatting for the first time. So welcome, wonderful to see you.
She's tired, Liz.
Yeah, well, we're all tired. Some of us need pictures of dice trays.
Oh.
It's not blurry. It's
Oh, I
gonna,
see.
It's gonna fix itself. There.
No,
she looks
bingos.
unhappy. Fuck. Damn it, we came so close.
That's nice. That's nice photos.
We had so many entries on the bingo card, though. Damn.
Christopher's too attached to Reggie.
Aw.
On the road a lot for your job and watching since October. Well, we're really pleased. Look, here's the thing. I'm glad that if anybody is getting any kind of enjoyment from this at all, I'm happy. But it's
Live
just,
or
it's extra
recorded.
nice to see somebody live, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat to see them pop in and say hello. Even if time zones suck and whatever, like, we totally understand.
One thing that I can say though is that it's been fun playing with you, and it's keeping me sane. I had a bad day right up until about 4 o'clock this afternoon because I was just not feeling good about everything. Not everything, but like, you know, the state of things. And it's amazing how much this helps.
Yay.
And of course, speaking about how much things help, we do have today's play of the game, and it starts for voting now. Sophia breaches etiquette to cut into a dance in light of a breach in security. Hashtag Liam for days.
Liam for days.
Patches improves the success of her gala by 1, letting her go in, 2, setting Reggie on fire, and 3, risking Zister unleashing the gun on another uninvited guest. Hashtag Unseelie for days. Or 2, Brahm hesitates to trust Fuse's troll-focused tour after dismissing the presence of his unmasked, uninvited human wife's presence at a Fae gala as... Oh, it cut off because it's too long.
At a gala ass.
You'll have to, I think, patch.
I will read the rest. Give me a second here. It's coming.
So funny.
Yes.
It's coming. Fuck.
Oh, Fuse, I don't know if I can trust you. Oh, hi, Claire. See you later. Like, oh, that's probably
At a Fae gala as, quote, probably nothing, hashtag Brahm for days.
Brahm for days. Well, shit, guys.
So that's vote 0, 1, or 2 now. We're going to start with you, Liz.
Diablo?
Sophia, normally when she would see somebody that's in the situation of Malachi, she would feel feel a lot of compassion towards them. But in this case, she was angry that their relationship with the queen was almost like damaged beyond repair. So she's like trying to feel sorry for her, but she just doesn't yet.
Scott?
Yeah.
There's one thing Sophia cares about more than other people. It's her own standing in society.
Pretty much.
I'm kidding around. I guess I learned that Brahm is really like desperate for people to tell him things about himself. Which sounds really silly, but what I mean is, you know, when someone can actually like talk to him about you know, kind of put his own feelings into words for him, he's like, oh, cool, okay, thanks.
And just before we get to you, Kate, I am forced to report that it is you
Hey,
who have won today's play of the game.
clap, 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 clap. 10 votes. That's a runaway, folks.
Yeah, that's in this game, that's a runaway.
I had an unfair advantage. Was kind of my.
Yay!
I learned 1, trust no one. 2, I have awesome friends. So
Who I can't trust.
I trust Sophia and Brahm and Zister and Cog, but I don't necessarily trust that they are themselves anymore because fuck imposters.
This is the thing.
But thanks Sophia, thanks Brahm, thanks Zister, thanks I guess Cog. I mean,
don't
I hope
think-
you had some good sex, Cog.
I'm not necessarily having sex, you know. Don't look at me like that.
I would, for one, like to know exactly what happened with the High Queen and Cog for security reasons.
We'll find out in the morning, I hope.
All right.
And just lick everyone. Yep.
Seriously.
No.
Oh, she's. Oh my God, she's going in for the eidetic taste.
Oh, green herd, okay.
Whoa, green beans, go.
You simultaneously tasted every NPC at once.
Yeah. Oh, my head would also
Rip patches.
explode.
Okay, but it's just a chimerical death, so she'll come back and then she'll actually remember it all.
Terms of service. Is licking against terms of service?
You let
I'm
us
not sure
know
I
because I
want to
don't
find
actually
out.
want to violate the terms of service.
Our dice tray.
Ripley are everything.
Our things.
I mean, my dice tray, when it came back, it had to go through some interesting delinting process because I'm pretty sure that Ella really liked sitting in that dice tray.
Oh, the hexagonal?
You might be surprised to learn that that is a much better state than it was in originally.
I'm pretty sure we vacuumed it.
Yeah?
I think we did. Just wild.
It's pristine.
Hmm.
Well, now it is.
Oh my. I so need to Lumi. Yeah, you do. Lumi's here to remind you. Here's the thing. We may be all in this together separately, but that means that you've got some interesting things going on. Who's streaming?
I am.
Got it!
Yay.
Me.
Oh, yeah. I'll go first just because I'm soonest. Tomorrow, come and join me for another Case of the Mondays. I think we're almost at the end, or we are at the end of John Blacksad's Kitty Adventures, his 9 lives, yada yada yada. I feel like we're approaching the end of it, so join me for what might be the finale, and then I have more things to play later in the week.
And that's tomorrow that you're planning on doing that, Scott?
Tomorrow, yeah, I will post in the Discord in advance this time, and on Twitter.
Hey.
So you can find out.
You know, speaking of that Discord, you should really join it if you want to have anything to do with any of us. So many interesting conversations been going on recently,
Yeah.
and I blame isolation for that, but like, hey,
Yeah, seriously.
why not?
Yeah.
Kate?
We'll see. I am finishing up my Python course, and so I found myself spending way more hours on that than I thought I would. But if I finish or if I get tired of it, there may be streams for me. Details on the Twitter and the Discord.
Zelda.
Zelda
Liz?
and Zelda.
I'm gonna continue Nancy Drew and the Lilac Inn on Wednesday at 4 on my channel, and then Friday we're gonna have Punchy at 6.
Saturday?
Saturday is yet unconfirmed.
Book club?
But Sunday is Punchy Book Club.
Oh,
Saga Volume 3, right?
Saga Volume 3. 1 o'clock.
I have a stream to announce. I have a stream to announce because I'm crazy like that. At 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Friday, so this is post-Punchy,
What?
will be another edition of RPG Clinic. If you missed the last one, I'm sorry for you.
After dark.
It was
With
good.
special guest Aragwen
Yes.
Oh, that's so great.
calling in. So honestly, I know that it's late for a lot of you Euro folk. It's very late, but the last RPG clinic that we had with Pukajutsu was so great that I'm hoping that I get to do another one with him. But in the meantime, I am lucky enough that I asked somebody else, and Aragorn said yes. So here we go. That's Friday, 9 p.m. So 1 hour after Punchy ends. I might stream like just immediately after for like an hour before Aragorn can get there. But it won't be RPG Clinic. Maybe I'll just play some rando thing just so that I can.
The Punchy might be a little unconventional anyway, so maybe it can go a bit longer too. Something. Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll fill you in. We'll fill you in. But that's what's happening. But at any rate,
Don't do it, Ripley. Don't do it,
we have to
Ripley.
thank Aragwen, of course, she who knows 10,000 things, for doing some awesome odd stuff and gifting some subs as well today.
Yes,
The Crosshair, your sojourn away from us is noted with sadness but also optimism.
No, it's fine.
We'll hopefully see you soon. It's not an easy place to be in, folks, I know, but we're here. We'll be here next Sunday with another episode. Throwing these out again. Pay attention to this shit. It's becoming more and more necessary for some kind of tool for you to use. If it looks stupid, it's because you may not need it in your head, but you definitely need it no matter what. This is not stupid. This is the sort of thing that will save your ass. If it could happen to certain people, it could happen to anybody.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Join our Discord. Go on rpgclinic.com and you can read all of Scott's synopses of every single episode. You can find the VODs of all of Changeling the Streaming and Exaltwitch. You can find out why I love these three. Thank you. Remember, if we're going to get
Thank
through
you.
this whole pandemic, we have one direction to go. See you next time.
Right? I think that's right.
You're right as you're right. Bye. You're not right.